So I have like over 400 plus songs. Like I can freestyle for days.
Whoa.
Like my friend is Chris Carson,
Yeah.
aka Chris Cannon.
Yeah.
And like I have a whole Wu-Tang crew.
Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So like I have the same best friends for the last 30 years. And I'm 34. The same 12 best friends.
Wow. The 12 disciples.
Yeah, so
Shaolin.
we haven't even like I don't even know if we ever talked like that. But we used to call ourselves like designated hitters. And like that was like the name of our little rap group. And see, but like that's what
Put these on. You'll hear it.
I mean,
put these on. It's about to sound crazy. Watch this.
No. I'm thinking like, was I gonna go? Was I gonna go? It actually has some bass though. It has some bass. All right, he's doing it. All right. All right, stressed out, huffing, puffing. Yeah, I'm stressed out. Other side, I'm the best out. In my pocket, probably signing autographs. And he texted me, piece of order have. I ain't trying to incriminate myself. I'm just trying to increase my wealth. So who is up the top shelf? That's me and Grey Goose and my lady, Femi, baby. Man, look, right now, he got me on the top. Like, I just got, first of all, hold on real quick. Hold on. Real quick. He put me on the spot, and first of all, I already told you this DeLorean was strong. So I'm already kind of buzzed in my cheeks. Pause. And
buzzing in my cheeks?
All I'm going to say.
Something about it.
We're never going to get on topic because, like, I'm just having a really good day after a long 2 weeks.
Man, I'm so sorry about the whole situation with the pop, man. This, tell me the name of your dog who passed.
Bear.
Bear. Yeah. This is like a pet that you've had for more than 10 years.
Nah, it was 2. We have we had 7. So Bear, he's part of a litter of 15. And 6 didn't make it at birth. We weren't there. We were actually like at Femi's little brother's birthday. He was turning 21. It was kind of cool. And on our little baby monitor that we had, we were like, yo, what's all this commotion? Like, Eva is like pregnant. She shouldn't be doing anything. She was asleep. And she's just walking past, and we don't know what's going on. So anyway, finished the dinner. We were only gone for 2 hours. We come back home, and we're like, what in the world? What's that smell? And we just hear like birds. It sounds like birds, like chirping. And we go upstairs, and literally like the movie 101 Dalmatians, it's all, we already had 4 dogs, and then we had Eva, and then there's 15. So there's 20 dogs in this house. And it's 4 p.m. And we're just like, what is going on? So it was just crazy. So like the whole journey of Bear was like crazy. I mean, it was already sad when we had to like put lay to rest the other ones that didn't make it because mom was probably big and so on and so on. But anyway, Bear was cool. He was our biggest dog. He was about 70 pounds. And literally, if you look at the videos on IG, go follow DJ Femi 412 or Wade Anthony Jr. He's huge. He takes up literally he takes up a whole love couch. Yeah, you need a whole section.
Yeah, 70 pounds is legit. That's that's medium to large. Like,
yeah, and he's
not
a
a small
Rottweiler pit bull.
But it's, I guess, unexpected if he was only 2.
Super unexpected. Like their appetites are just crazy. So like a lot of larger breed dogs have like weaker stomachs. So you just got to be really careful. So I would just say for all the pet owners, like just be outside with your pet when like you're leaving them outside. That's sometimes like I would say a bad practice for us. But going forward, like just be more present outside so you can kind of catch like the little things that they get into, because we just learned like even with the cage, like we have them downstairs in the cage when we're gone, and we would put a sheet over the cage, and it's like
so they relax.
Yeah, but they'll eat the sheet. They'll pick it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're doing that to stop debris from the stairs and whatever. Yeah. And it doesn't matter.
My little girl likes to eat paper.
Yeah,
she loves paper.
Her son loves tissue, that paper towels and tissues. Like it's like, dude, why? You just had chicken and rice and you want this. Dogs are dogs.
Wait. We did a whole ass interview and you never once mentioned you're a mom?
So many dogs. Well, all the dogs.
Oh,
yeah,
your
I'm
son
sorry.
meaning
Sorry, yeah. All right,
a
look.
puppy,
Femi was a single mom.
fur baby.
Before we got, yeah, Femi was a single mom before we got together, yeah. You know what I
It's
mean?
so confusing the way people talk now. Like,
Yeah, I know.
they really do. They're like, "This is my fur baby." I'm like, "Well, you've clearly never had human children because it's a
Yeah,
whole.
but-
There's levels to this shit."
But like that, I would like to say, like, if I did have a kid, I would put that much energy into as
Yeah.
well, until
Yeah.
I figure out how much more I need to add on top of that.
I hear you, and I think it really is a family member. I think that's the bottom line. Like,
Yeah,
pets, and this is coming from somebody who's never owned a dog.
right.
Like, I've lived with dogs.
I didn't know.
I've taken care of a lot of dogs. I used to do dog sitting in South Florida and in New York City, which I
Oh
love.
wow.
Taking care of big dogs. Like, I would have one of my best friends in South Florida is a amazing yoga teacher and studio owner named Naya.
No.
Her husband, partner, also a really dear friend. I have to tell this story every time, but at our wedding, I played this song on a boombox. It was like a decent song, and I was expecting it to get like a better response. Basically, like, it was kind of not hitting that hard, and he just stands up and starts clapping. And it was so glad you made it. You gotta give me some lovin'. Spencer Davis group, give me some lovin'.
Okay.
And he just stands up and starts leading this clap.
That's just awesome.
And everybody there starts clapping, and it absolutely saved the moment. Like, he transformed this, like, a scene that was like not really okay
Yeah.
into the greatest moment of my life because he was
Right.
there and had that like wherewithal.
I would say like that's kind of like how it was like for us. I think a lot too perspectively. People forget like we're full-time DJs, full-time artists, so we do spend more time with our dogs averagely. Like
Yeah.
I would say our dogs are engaged for an average 4 hours a day.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So like
That's like
quality
sleep.
of life
Yeah.
is a little different. Like you know what I'm saying? So we're a little different. So for us, it's more of a therapeutic thing in a sense of like every step of the way. Like we just had a conversation like when it comes to financing, we have to budget our weed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's part of my everyday. It's part of her everyday. Like I'm tired. Like there's so many people I didn't like that I had to talk to. There's so many people I have to go into with the same energy and stay like even kill and be unbiased. So like I use that medication as a unbiased tool. So it's like, all right, cool. This is how I feel here, but this is how I have to feel going outside. So being aware.
Yeah, it really is medicine. I think it's important to make that point, you know, because like there's a lot of states where it's not allowed, you know, where you can't prescribe it. So like where I trained in South Carolina,
Yeah,
you're not allowed to
it
prescribe
sucks.
marijuana, and doesn't really make a lot of sense because it's one of the safest drugs known
It's
to
one of those
man.
things where I think that's where culture comes in. I feel like in my culture, coming from DC, it was always frowned upon, and it's now funny like how everybody when I go buy my weed is trying to tell me about weed, and I'm like, that's the name that we created. That's the name we created. Like hearing to buy Bubble Kush and have taxes on it sounds wild to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To say all that is really a slap in the face in culture. So like for me, I feel like with anything, if you believe it works, like do that. Because obviously it was just proven wrong on a huge scale. You know what I'm saying? So that can be anything.
They're going to push it into full legal, and my buddy who I just had on doesn't want it. You know, he's made it pretty clear to me that it's going to cut into the profit margins. Once it's totally legalized, there's going to be too many people in the market, too many players. Once it's like decriminalized on the federal level, once it's unscheduled, which is what kind of
I would say he's just being fearful of his creativity. I would say then be the niche.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like instead of being the big dog because you're doing it right at the level that it's appreciated at, then when it gets unappreciated, look at the shit we're doing now. We do all this old stuff. Like I just saw a Hot Wheels TV show series. Like we're gonna do the best to trick them out, and I'm like, that's Pimp My Ride and all that together. But she just talked about how many shows, like, and we just talked about we're in the same age range. How many shows have you seen come back from the dead, but like re-innovated, like in a more modern way? Like all the toys, everything we do is like old. So I would just say like, yeah, if he feels that strongly, like I have my boy the Pheno Finder out in Denver, he does this and he does this. But the niche thing is what actually makes people rich. having an identity. So cool, be the only person that does that. Then once everyone's doing that and they feel like that's the norm to make $1 million, make $1 million doing the opposite thing. I heard one thing too in a documentary, NASA, being as smart as they are, we didn't know if the Earth was circle or flat until someone said, "Hey, turn that satellite around." Sometimes
Crazy,
it's simple, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, obviously it's flat.
You know, it could be.
Have you ever?
I don't have any
seen
absolutes outside of
edge?
anything.
You've never been in
I
space?
care for.
Yeah, those video feeds from the ISS. Like, how do you know it's not just completely doctored, right?
I mean, I've been told a lot of things were wrong.
Yeah, we've learned a lot of things, I think.
I choose and pick what questions I ask. Like if the Earth is flat, nothing changes for me. He heard you. First of all, he heard you beatboxing, so this is just like celebrating pops. But no, if the Earth is flat, it doesn't change anything I do tomorrow. So for me,
that's so true.
I can say whatever. Sometimes I just like pick different sides just to see what it'd be like. So yeah, it's flat.
Totally.
Matter of fact, on this podcast today, the Earth is flat, and if
all my doctor friends are just like so angry right now listening to this.
Tell your doctor friends to argue with me, and I'll give them 3 facts why it should be flat.
I like to give the devil his due, to play devil's advocate a
not?
lot, to
Yeah.
troll. Trolling for me is like a lifestyle.
All right, it's flat today.
My favorite thing in the entire world. There's almost nothing more fun than being an internet troll, at least in a way that's witty and kind of gets people thinking.
Yeah.
You know, that's, to me, is my space.
Right.
That's why some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill, is the Instagram quote.
I do
the
feel
last
that.
line in Blade.
I feel that. I feel like I'm a loophole artist because of that. Like, I feel like that's also like our year of where we grew up from.
Yeah. Yeah, we're kind of sandwiched in the middle of something. Like, we weren't really like the 90s kids, like that whole, like,
What is a 90s kid?
like the
Almost.
neon green and pink with the fanny packs. But like,
Her.
that was her.
Yeah. Her. She,
But we weren't like the
That's that.
tech, like the full blown tech
No.
generation either.
no, it was like we're the, what was the term we came up with? I think the term we came up with was like, we're like the test subjects. Like, there's like 7 years of just like test years. Like, we're going to just throw this at them and that's what it is.
Like,
and like, oh yeah, we just did it.
Do you can you tell me a little bit about the sneaker connection? Like, is this the store that you were talking about earlier?
Yeah.
How'd you get into sneakers and what was your relationship there?
All right, so sneakers comes from sports in a sense of like just being a part of it, right? Athlete, all-star, college athlete, college all-star. Could have went pro, but injuries and just life changes and whatnot, just decided to do something else. That's pretty much sums me up. I like something really, people will be like, oh, that's crazy. And it's like, all right, cool. And I change my mind because I see something else. That's what I do. So I got into the store because I recognize fashion in the sport industry. And in doing so, like, I already had a lot of rich friends in the sense of like the guys who did go all the way pro. And I'll never forget, I was in my basement of my best friend Jared Lee's house. And he was like, yo, I'm about to go on this trip, about to sell some shoes. I'm like, all right, I'll go with you. I wasn't doing anything. Drove 45 minutes. He made like $600 off 2 pairs of shoes. And I'm like, that's off those? He was like, yeah. And he's like, and this dude traded me some kicks for him.
Do you remember what they were?
Sprite LeBron 8s. And the other pair I don't remember. I just remember because I was trying to get them off. They were 2 pair of LeBrons. And cool gray LeBrons. That's what it was. So he got $600 for both of those. And then he ended up getting some Altitude 13 Jordans and $600. Yeah, it was a crazy deal.
Nice.
So I was like, wow, that's dope. So I saved up all my money and got my first pair of Jordans at the age of like, what's 10th grade? How old are you at 10th grade?
15?
Yeah, 15, 16.
Yeah.
Like, I had a car. So yeah, 16. So
yeah.
Once I started like doing that, I just started saving up money, and then I started buying people's collections because I was like, all right, cool, checking eBay. And then it just started getting crazy. Like, I'm like, I ain't got $300 right now. I was just like taking all the used shoes. But then I moved here, And then I remember it was a holiday release.
Why'd you move to Pittsburgh?
I was in a relationship preview, and I was just trying to be outside of DC. I just needed a different change up.
Had you been before? Like,
I went to Duquesne University. So,
oh wow!
Yeah.
All right, for sports.
Yeah, I went for football, and I went to the AJ Palumbo School of Business with business entrepreneurship background.
Is it D2 or
D1 AA? Yeah.
D1 football.
Yeah.
Who did you play?
So I played as a cornerback.
Yeah.
I went in as a receiver.
Yeah.
Coach really needed like more DBs at the time, and I just told him, I said, I can run really fast backwards, and he just took me, and I actually started. I played all 4 years.
Wow.
I had to fight actually for my scholarship because there was like technicalities. There were promises that were made. And I could talk about it because that guy doesn't work at Duquesne anymore. And he's all the way out in Albany, New York.
Joe
B.
What's the Duquesne mascot?
It's a Duke.
The Dukes.
Yeah. So it's like, it's a Duke. I don't know.
Yeah, he's like a count. He's like, he has a royal position.
I don't know. It's unculturally to me, but it's a guy with a top hat. He looks pretty serious about business.
The Demon Deacons would be the other one's kind of similar, right?
Yeah, like Wake Forest.
Yep.
So,
but do you remember any of the games? I mean, did you play
I
like
can tell you
Clemson, Alabama? Did you play?
I played
Pitt.
We did one big game a year. As far as like the ones that could almost get on TV and whatnot.
Because you weren't in a conference.
Not in a conference like for that magnitude.
Yeah.
So I would say like they've definitely had Pitt games. They've had games. They just did one last year against Florida State.
They got a decent basketball team, right?
They have a great basketball team. I was there when they had the Duquesne shooting.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What was the story there?
Basically, after a game, there was a party, and 9 people got shot, and it was 4 of the basketball players. And no one passed, I don't think. But that was my visit to the school.
Oh, wow.
I came to Pittsburgh.
You came strapped?
I came to Pittsburgh as a 17-year-old that didn't know he had to be. So like I've been fully aware of Pittsburgh since day one, and I came up here, did that, met a lot of people, and I would say it was the mindset that really made me who I am today. In the sense of I wanted to leave, but I didn't want to remain doing what I was already doing. I'm out somewhere. Let me just take it for what it was. So I basically just had the yes man movie mentality. Just like, I'm going to say yes to everything and just try everything. So that's how I kind of like met tons of, like, she'll be in rooms with me like, how do you know this person? Like, I know councilmen, realtors, bankers, big investors, mayors. I know a lot of people.
K-Mos?
I mean, probably if they identify.
Kyrie Mosley?
Oh, Kyrie Mosley?
Yeah.
I don't know names like that.
He's like the hip hop city councilman. He's running for city council. Good friends with Selecta. May or may not be coming on the podcast within the next.
That's kind of crazy because my boy Corey just got put on the ballot for Democrat Party in Sharpsburg for council.
Nice.
But I know a lot of people by like face and like nicknames. Like I'm literally from the culture. Like I meet people in their space, so it's whatever unofficially. I don't do paperwork. I haven't signed anything official in probably like 15 years. As far as like as long as it's not like business.
Do you have an LLC?
Yeah, I got LLCs, all that stuff. So like as far as my business is done, but as far as like Sadbeargvng is like, that's my baby. That's like everything I do. Sadbeargvng is like Cartoon Network. I'm Adult Swim. That's Tsunami. You know what I'm saying? Like that's Toonami. Like that's
you got multiple shows.
Exactly. So it's like it's a more of a culture. Like she's Femi Gvng, and there's a whole culture that comes behind that. But Sadbeargvng is like different because I'm not from here, and it's kind of crazy because you talk about like how we do with promotion, and it's like I literally only have like 3 people here that live in Pittsburgh. That know me, like on a texting basis. We talk like that, but outside of the music industry, and it just shows like the reach that we have. It's kind of cool. So Sadbeargvng uses all those things, and we empower each of the internal communities to make everything just strong.
The different shows would be the DJing, NFTs,
It's
shoes.
It's shoes, retail, pop-ups, travel, vlogging, um, music, poetry. It's every art form that I've touched, and I only like to stay in the realms that I've been in, so that therefore whoever hops in, I can appreciate it as best. So if I haven't been aware, I'd rather watch. But as far as Sadbeargvng, it's been numerous amount of things. A lot of people, like I said, don't know that I've done 400 songs.
Yeah, not at all.
You
That's
know what I
wild.
mean? 400
And you made the
songs.
beats, or you were getting beats from people?
No, but I've had a lot of others. There's a lot of people that are super, super popular that have made beats for me that I've purchased or licensed out, or like Wale, he's a neighbor
Wow.
from back home. Rico Nasty, she's a neighbor. Black China's not an artist. She's a, even though she's a socialite, she's a neighbor. Kevin Durant, I went to school with Kevin
A
Durant.
lot of these are like DC folks.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, like, you didn't feel like you could do this project back home?
I would say anyone can do it back home, but I would say, like, the roads are different. I would say that there are just as many people capable as myself back home. And I'm not saying I'm running, but I also, like, found this spot myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't say, oh, it's too tough. I said, oh, wow, I'm doing this. And it's already been tough because this is my experience. But if I took it to DC, I would say I would need to take my time with DC and still do my due diligence before I would never just come off hot. I would just be like, all right, cool, I need to learn the vibes here real quick. But it wouldn't take me long, though.
Big fish, little pond kind of scenario.
Always searching for that because, like, as long as I learn something, like, I make more money. I'm making a lot of money now. So if I'm always small, it's always going to be more. So I just take my time with that.
Is there a way to connect the NFT universe into the real world? And, like, do these people show up for parties, for example, if you get bookings? Or are they mostly, like...
NFTs are dope. It's like, I would say for NFTs, for those who don't know, it's non-fungible tokens. And non-fungible token has technology on it. In the sense of, like, it's a blockchain where it's like, what's that thing? Carfax. Like, you can see every transaction that you've made,
everybody who owned it and for how much. It's kind of like
exactly.
when you look at the house, when you're thinking about copping a house.
And that's
It's
exactly
like, well, it sold for $250 2 years ago.
Right.
Why am I paying $500 today?
But also, too, let's add that exact knowledge to the house. And let's say you live in California and you have a huge squatting problem. Well, guess who owns the NFT and guess who doesn't? The thing is,
you can find out for real.
Exactly. So
There's
the thing,
a paper trail.
It's a huge paper trail. It's a huge digital blockchain paper trail where you can't lie about anything. Like, we deal with so much right now. I was just showing Femi, like, all the stuff that's going on because Hong Kong actually just made crypto. It's accepted.
Like El Salvador.
Yeah, it's accepted as of June 1st. So it's one of those things where it's, like, super different.
Or was it Ecuador?
Ecuador. It was Ecuador.
Yeah.
I think El Salvador may have hopped in. There's 40 countries that have accepted it and adopted it. And a lot of people don't understand that.
But isn't there a concern that even if you have crypto as the de facto currency of the land,
Right.
that they can use that, control it, like a social credit score, turn off your ability to access your funds, things like that? Or is it more the opposite? Like, then you really are in control.
This is the part that's going to break the internet. Crypto is super scary, but in the correct spaces, it's not. In the sense of, crypto is meant for you to find its community. There's multiple digital alternate coins. For instance, I'm a part of a company that's coming out with meme coin. The thing is, I'll break it down as simple as this. Wade and Femi can come out with the Sadbeargvng coin. And whatever we offer, we only accept that coin. See what I'm saying? So this is my world. So if you feel like you're going to get scammed, it depends on who is behind it. It's just like a stock. I don't just buy Apple because I buy Apple because everyone else is telling me to buy Apple. Apple's physically out there. I can see it. I can research it. And I can kind of foresee up and down trends. It's just like that. So when it comes to crypto, it's super dope because, yeah, there's fear. But if you believe in what you believe in and that person's going to take it from you, it was going to get taken from you anyway because that's what the government does and can do. So you can just reface it and say you're doing it now. If the dollar doesn't mean anything and the government says, hey, we're taking apples. I don't live on a farm. I'm broke. That's crypto. And the fear is really just in the fact of people don't want to they don't want to take ownership of their decisions. I've lost massive money because I haven't focused. But if I read, I'm in the safest place. I have 10,000 partners with me doing the same thing. And they're all businesses, they're all companies, and they just are digital representations of what's going on. A lot of these video games, Netflix shows, come from NFTs. That's where they get their funding from. It's part of the project. You're actually buying in at the starter level of a company without it going public on a stock. It's kind of crazy.
Can you help me get my first NFT today?
Yeah, like what are you into though?
So I was trying to buy a Kaiju King today, but I had some real problems. So it was 0.15 ETH, but they won't accept ETH. So I took my Coinbase Ethereum.
Right.
I put it into my Coinbase wallet.
Okay.
Then I tried to buy the Kaiju Kings on OpenSea.
Still wouldn't take it.
And it says you can't use ETH, you need to use WETH.
Yeah. Okay, so look.
Do you understand why this is so confusing for somebody like me? There's so many barriers and levels of... It's just so frustrating.
But also, too, look at all of if I was coming from another country and you had to tell me about taxes and insurance, it's the same shit. It literally is. I know because I tell her about it all the time. My thing is like, if you wanted to get a Kaiju King, I would say first, ask somebody who has an NFT. Then I would say find the most two popular ones so that way you can find your best option. And then after that, read. Everything in the crypto world is everything that sums up what's wrong with today's world. And that's the best part about it. Accountability is the one thing that we all lack. If you're not accountable, guess what? We're decentralized. There is no centralized bank. No one answers for your mistakes. If you lose that money, you lost that money. If you hit that link and it's a scam, you hit that link as a scam. My thing is, I'm in a group that tells me, and we have announcements. I'm going to read the announcements. And then I'm done. Some people want to get money so fast. They're so fast. That's where the problem's at. So NFTs are dope. I have an NFT right now where if you want to be in my group, you need to pay for my NFT right now, the bare minimum, you need to give me 20 grand right now.
What this is for the Sadbeargvng coin?
Nah, Sadbear is like $30. Like no, Sadbear is like $30. It's like a membership pass. You get like a free shirt every 3 months. But no, this one's called Memeland, Memeland's Captains, and it's based out of Hong Kong. And if you've ever seen, it's a website called 9gag. They used to come up with these memes, and it's just like one of them old school like websites where you just find funny shit on, like Media Takeout, World Star. It's like the Hong Kong's World Star. And basically that company already had money, came out with a project, and now they're coming out with their own digital currency. And there's a lot of other stuff that's at stake. They're coming out with amusement parks, and I'm one of 10,000 members. And our value is at $18 million.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So it's like, that's how it works. It's
but there's
like
something real there.
There is something real
and
there.
Why? So shouldn't there be the possibility of something purely intellectual?
I have the IP of the art. So we actually have, so Memeland is also like a whole... Sometimes these NFTs can be a game, so you own the IP of that character. That's why our evaluations are what they are. It could be a TV show. You're the main character, so like in our NFT world, that would be the rare NFT.
There's one like that up in the Strip District right now, where you can put on the VR glasses and be the main character in your show. Do you know what I'm talking about?
And that's the Sandbox. And,
yes.
Sandbox has his own coin as well, and they have a sand coin.
Yeah, so I have some sand.
So
a little bit. I think isn't that what I needed in order to buy land in there?
Sand and mana.
Yeah, I have a little bit of both.
If you have that,
I want two things. Real world and whatever this is.
Right now is the time to do it.
Web3. Now here are the two ideas. Both things mirror each other, so they're essentially one thing is happening in real life and it's being just piped into artificial augmented reality world.
Right.
So it's just a food truck, which is also an event space that's like a old converted bus. It's like a full-size school bus that has a stage on the roof where you can do yoga in the morning, and at night you can have a band or a DJ playing with great sound, and then it converts into a kitchen in the back. We have our food truck in the back, fruit and meat, and we have our shows. We take it to every single music festival across the country, but everything is filmed, so it's all high-def cameras. And so if you're not there, you can also be there. My yoga teachers
in
aren't
some
getting,
form.
they're not getting paid for the 8 people that are taking the
experience.
class in person. They're getting paid for the 800 people who are taking the class around the world.
Yeah, so like the NFT like funds it so whoever makes it in real life gets that full experience. But there is something to give back because you are a holder. So like it could be a kickback, like an airdrop in the coin. Those coins can always be reverted back into cash. So that's like my meme coin. It's worth whatever it's worth when it drops. It's like going public for stock, and I just think it's really dope for verification. And as an artist, Snoop Dogg, he has one where he drops music, and he has I think he has 9,000, where there's 9,000 different like samples or beat drums or whatever, and he also puts a sample of his voice. Like he gives you a couple cuts. If you own that NFT, whatever's in that NFT block, you own that voice, the beats, and all that. And it's at least, I think each one was 27 minutes.
Whoa! So and then can you license it out?
Everything.
Like you own his.
That's the whole point of the NFT. You own the token. You own everything. The IP is huge in NFTs. Whenever you see the Bored Apes, if you've ever seen those,
yeah.
Matter of fact,
Bamboo talked about the Bored Apes, and one of the things he was talking about was actually using it as a pass to get into a party in New York City.
It is.
Now, of course, he doesn't own any, but he apparently was able to get in anyway. But
Someone
most of the people that were there, I guess, owned an ape or a part of an ape.
Like, I'll give you a better example. Rolling Loud. Like, it gets crazy. It sounds crazy. Like, I was just talking about grapes the other day. Yeah. But, like Rolling Loud, venue.
Miami. Oh, it's a music festival in Miami. It's all rap.
They have Miami, Portugal. They have Thailand, London, and they have one in Toronto. But if you buy their NFT, it's a lifetime pass. So you can go for free whenever. And that's what they're offering. And their NFT was like $1,500. So like we were just talking about like evaluations. I was saying like I've never been to one, and I also think that it being only in New York and Miami twice out of the year, and I don't keep up with it now, I don't think $1,500 is worth it because I don't want to go to the same party also too every year.
Totally. So, and see only one genre performed. I mean, for me, that's just, it gets very tiresome.
Exactly.
Within an hour or two, I'm going to be, sleeping. But the, which I say, as someone who just got back from an electronic music festival where it was just one beat for 3 days. That's the joke between me and my wife is 3 days, one beat with the techno festival.
It really is though, but it's something different. It's still different. It's still a little different. It may be the environment. Because it's in New York, and because look, we're on video, and because there's lights, and there's
they switch up. They're
doing
they
other
switch
stuff.
the video every once in a while.
There's so much other stuff here.
Yeah, they switch the video.
I don't know. I'll do that one though.
I actually really like the way the Detroit style of rap, which is like not on beat, like the T Grizzly style.
I think there's like a good like lighthearted style to it, in the sense of like people need to joke a little bit more, and take it as a joke. I think music right now is a little too serious. We talk about that often. I feel like words are very important. I feel like words are going like how we listen to R&B now and it's corny, right? Like it was like, wow, that guy's really crying for some, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? But it's like then I listen to trap rap and I'm like, wow, he just said it. Oh, I guess that's the song. You know what I mean? Like it's different. So it's like, all right. Yeah. That guy's corny, but that guy's like straight to it and it's distasteful. It's like I kind of miss. We need to get
something
back
in the
to
middle.
Like
maybe that's why drill and UK grime hits so hard because they're saying what you want them to say, but you can't quite understand it because it's in like a British accent.
It's a little bit of ignorance. It's a little bit of ignorance where it's like I'm just enjoying the song.
Exactly, it lets you enjoy it in a different way because you can escape from the directness of the lyrical content. Yeah, like I'm like, this guy is really like flowing on this beat, but like I really didn't catch the last 3 verbs he just said, but sounds great, guy. I have a great Wu-Tang, speaking of the Wu-Tang Clan record behind me somewhere, which is I Am, the French crew.
Okay.
It's
I did it.
I
I did it.
says a man. You finished it?
I did.
Nice work. We got more. I am, says a man from the royal fam. Never ate ham, never gave a damn. In the beginning there was darkness, then came light. I grabbed the mic, then diss your ass just for spite. What? You can't fuck with the flows I bring. Watch the staff I swing. What's up? It's Tempo King. Astonishing, I'm dramatic to the ear. Television tells lies to your vision, so beware of the... It's incredible. And then the second verse is all in French.
You just like shitted on my verse.
Well, no, that's
it was my own song.
I think that's
Inspect
the Deck or something. So it's gonna be better.
That's I respect that too for
no
you
offense.
doing like no, none taken. Doing an Inspect the Deck and not like a easier one. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's definitely like you have an ear, and I appreciate that. I just appreciate you doing that just there.
The it's a great record. It's what is it called? Wu-Tang Clan featuring I Am. I think it's called I Am. But I have the single behind me somewhere. Someday. Oh, Femi's gonna find my records.
She's about to grab another beer for me. It's about to get better. No, good story about Wu-Tang. We went to she's had this party in Black on the Block, which is always out in Cali. And yes, I'll take that. Yes, my options were White Claw or Yingling.
We're running low.
That was just a Femi option. It's just wild. But we went to Black on the Block in LA, and we had one day left, and we went to Amoeba Records.
Oh, cool.
And
that's cool. That's like a bucket list for me.
Man, it was right across the street from Capitol Records, and I've never seen so many records in one space in my life.
Have you been in Jerry's?
No.
Bro.
Dude, all right, so look, I'm weird. I'll get into that after this story. But what's crazy is Wu-Tang.
Got you a sticker. I'm getting stickers for the podcast too, man. I'm super excited.
Let me know if you need more. I can hook it up too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just an intro. All right. Tell me about Amoeba.
All right. So look, we go to Amoeba and we're just like finding all this stuff. We're trying to like gift for everybody before we go home. You know, stuff we can send out. Also too quickly, if you're ever out of state and you're doing gifts or you're buying stuff for yourself, ship it to yourself. You'll be safe. You don't put it in your car. Ship it to yourself. It's always better. It keeps everything just super fresh. You don't have to worry about anything getting squished.
So smart.
And it doesn't cost you anything if you're on a plane for sure. Just pay, even if it's $80, it would cost you $200 on a plane. You know what I mean? Anyway, so we see
such
this.
Good advice.
It's a little hack, small one. Saw this Wu-Tang album in plastic, bought it. $7. And Amoeba, like they keep all the.
Which record do you remember? Was that after the 36 repressing?
Yes,
I just got that one.
It was
after the
36
chamber represses. It sounds good. I have it behind me, but it's not the original. I have a lot of OGs back here.
But look, there's
original
a secret.
Jimi Hendrix. Are You Experienced? 1968 original first pressing.
No.
Oh, I've got it.
I don't.
I got jams behind me.
But I got a gem for you though. A lot of people don't know if you put the Wu-Tang 36 chamber album in a PlayStation.
The CD? It plays a game? Whoa. Dropping
Wu-Tang ain't nothing.
My God. That's crazy. They've been doing Easter eggs from the beginning, right?
Yeah, dude. I used to play that when I was like back when I was like in.
What's the game?
It's their fighting game. It's like fucking Street Fighter. See, every single person in Wu-Tang you can play as.
What do you think? Oh, that's
and they
crazy.
actually remade it for an actual thing. They actually remade it so you can like just go out and buy it.
Yeah.
But
that's cool.
Back then, like
there was only one way to do it.
Yeah, I was doing it with a Sony Walkman, and I would literally take it out my PlayStation and go to the school bus and listen to it after that.
Wow. On one thing.
Yeah,
the Sony Walkman.
Yeah.
You had that little Discman. Was it called the Discman?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
I had
Sony Discman.
the yellow one and I had the all black one.
Yellow was fly. I remember that.
Yeah, it came with the yellow little extra stuff.
Yeah,
but
the headphones were actually just for the kids. Like they were these two little. Actually, it felt kind of like this little thing on the mic, on these mics. It was like these two little earpieces.
Yes.
And then there was just like a little top bar that went over your head.
That's all it was.
And a wire that hung down from one of them and went down to your little Discman.
Direct.
It would skip.
Direct aux.
Eventually, we learned to do like CDRs where you could put MP3s on your joint. And we had LimeWire. We had
BearShare.
Yep. And Napster. And then we could put
never
like
used
100.
Because he was like giving out the bad vibes, so I thought I was doing good by going somewhere else. I thought I was doing my like culture due diligence.
No, Napster was dope. So we would
shout out to Nap because he broke the culture. Let me that link. because the hashtag is Kings on top.
Yeah. Let's send this out.
Shout out to Meme Land. I love Kaiju Kings, though. It's just more personal. Meme Land's just too rich for me.
Here, I don't want you to put this on live. I don't know how to send it. Should I send it to your actual Twitter?
You know what's crazy? Actually, no, this is the new number that I'm not. So it's cool. It's just
I almost said like what's your phone number? That would have been really dumb.
Nah, so look, the way that's how the sneaker store started.
Or maybe it would have been cool because remember 281-330-8004, hit Mike Jones on the low because Mike Jones about to blow.
I called that number so many times in 2003.
Yeah. I had a whole party. I had a Mike Jones themed party.
I was 14.
Wow. See, I was wait, were you
16?
13? I was no, I
17?
I was 17 graduating from high school.
Okay.
Because I graduated from high school, and the high school graduation party was Mike Jones themed. I gave away a copy of the album, the CD, because at the time we were still listening to CDs, kind of, I think. And
yeah. Even like the sound person, if they didn't have a DJ, they had a CDJ.
Yep. With a big book.
Yeah.
Big booklet of CDs, which I never DJ'd on. I don't know if you ever had that experience.
I came in with her.
Started on. Oh, really?
She's my mentor.
Wow.
Yeah, I got my board. I got it from a friend. It was broken. I fixed it because my background is engineering. A lot of people don't know that.
Yep.
And then I fixed that, and then COVID hit, and then I just used that, and then she taught me after COVID.
So I'm your DJ great grandpa. Let me explain why. Because Femi, when I interviewed her on here, she said that Slim was one of her mentors and teachers.
Yeah.
Slim came to me when I was DJing in college and asked me for help.
All right, Pops. You got it. Then that's what it is. I don't fight order. Like, I'm here because that happened, and if that's what happened, this is what it is. And
I haven't hit him yet to know if he remembers or not, but I think he does. He'll remember. We were young as fuck. He has to remember. ZBT. See if he remembers ZBT House. He used to come to our parties, and I was DJing. I was playing like every house on University Drive, like 3800, at the Sigma Chi house and the Sig Ep, and everybody, and they would pay me $200. I would show up with my turntables, 2 big ass cases, and my mixer. Like, I used to be able to carry. I could bring one person with me, and I could carry all my gear, including a booth monitor.
I used to DJ before I was DJing. I would say 2010. No, I would say 2009. Like, I would have parties in my dorm.
Yep.
And I would run 2 YouTube screens.
That's dope, actually. Actually, one of the coolest things I experienced when I was in France was I was at a party where people were just passing around a computer and everybody would just pick a YouTube record and it hit because it was just people were hearing exactly what they wanted to hear. And I think sometimes we take ourselves, we're a little too confident in that we know what's going on in the room. I'm like, what kind of asshole just thinks that they know the best song for 300 people?
Yeah, and that's why I don't take requests.
100%.
I'm that asshole that got paid to tell everybody what it is for 300 people in the room.
Yes.
But one person that wasn't paid, that's really where's your resume, sir?
Correct.
Also, too, I think it's weird. Let's have a little DJ rant. You cool with that?
Oh, dude.
All right. I want you to give yours, too, though. I want to make this fun.
Yeah.
When you got your headphones on, I like to do a little fun game, and I like to make up words in their mouth while they're talking to me. And then I answer that question that I put in my head. So, you're talking, can't hear you.
Yeah.
And then I'll just answer the question that I thought you said in my head.
Oh, I got you. This is while you're DJing, you're wearing headphones. You can't hear what people are saying because there's loud music.
Yo, I don't have any Q-tips.
What do you think about people who wear, DJs who wear earplugs?
I wear earplugs. What earplugs in which way? Earbuds?
No. Earplugs.
I'm one of them.
Prevent sound from getting into their head.
I'm one of those guys.
Really?
Man.
Just turn the booth monitor down.
No. Because, it's different. I need vibration.
With me? Yeah, I need to hear. No. I want to get as close to being on the dance floor as I can. I want to experience it the way the dancers are experiencing it.
I need to feel it because a lot of people also don't know. I'm super weird and I'm a long book, so I don't heighten it. But the question's here. I'm half deaf, and I just certain frequencies already bug me out. But huge bass for long amounts of time make me it tires me out. So it wears me down. So I need the bass because it keeps me on tempo super easy.
Yep.
and it just makes for a great party. But I would say no, I'm not. I can't turn it down because then I just don't feel like I know what I'm doing. I just gotta feel it. If I'm having fun, I trust myself enough. If I'm like, oh wow,
You have one in both
great.
ears? Earplugs on both sides?
DJing, I probably just have my headphones on the entire time, and I just deal with it.
On both sides?
Yeah, I have my headphones on.
Are you
with
using
the
a
monitor.
split cue?
Yeah, I'm
So
just
you
listening to everything at once. I got to feel everything.
You have the master in your right ear and you have the cue in your left ear? Or what are you doing?
I got the master in the middle, and I got the cue in the middle. I'm hearing everything. Every move, everything I touch.
Oh, that's too confusing for me.
Oh, dude, I can do that. But
Really?
also, too, like, she's not even, like, looking up because, like, she knows how, like, weird I am. I do 3 things at all times. Like, for instance, like, she'll be watching Bar Rescue, and I'll be playing Call of Duty, be on a 3 streak on Call of Duty. And I'm like, yo, John's really leaning into this guy. I do multiple things at all times.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely feel like I'm trying to maximize and multitask too, but there's of course all these studies that have come out that say that like multitasking is not possible, that like basically
It isn't.
you can't. But what you can do is walk and chew gum because walking doesn't require a brain. They've done these experiments called decerebrate cats, and you're not going to like this as a pet owner, but I'm the cat owner here. So anyway, they take the cats, hook them up. This was a Pitt experiment, actually. There was a guy at Pitt who used to do vestibular research, and so they would put the cats on the treadmills. They would keep the treadmill going, and then they would cut the spinal cord where it connects to the brain. And when you make that connect, you disconnect the spinal cord from the brain, the cat keeps walking. And they're able to maintain all their basic functions because the brainstem is still intact. The brainstem is still attached to the brain. And what you have is the decerebrate cat, just the spinal cord connected to the limbs.
Right.
And what you learn from the experiment, the fact that it keeps walking, is that all the circuits that you need to walk are self-contained in the spinal cord itself. It's called what's called central pattern generators.
Right.
Where
like
you have
muscle memory.
Muscle memory, kind of. That's more of like a basal ganglia function, probably. You mean like the set of patterns that you need
Like
in order to engage a certain like pattern, like a right-left hook or something like that? Probably more basal ganglia, which is a deep brain structure also, but this is way deeper. This is contained in our fucking necks, in our fucking chest. You have all of the circuits that you need to walk because walking is too important, right? It's like you can walk in your sleep.
Right.
You can walk when you're dead, then you can walk in your sleep. Basically dead, right? Because they don't have a brain.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So it's just a pattern. The right leg pushes down and it inhibits the left leg, and then the left leg pushes down. The flexors on the left inhibit the extensors on the right. It's just basic.
I actually have a huge medical background too.
Really?
Yep.
That's what's up.
Like 25 years.
Jesus. Yeah, I feel like I'm like 20 years post high school training as of next year, and then like 20 years in music as well. It's like a twofer.
Respiratory. My mom was a respiratory therapist, so white coat, all that stuff. So like I've learned it from that aspect, and then for me, as far as engineering, just being the first son, I just had to make it myself. So,
how many siblings do you have?
I have one brother.
Still in DC?
Yes.
Do you go back a lot?
I used to, and then I met her, and then she got me busy, and then like now it's like, all right, guys, maybe, but like, no, we've been like super in tune with like making sure like we get everything we need, and now that our family knows what we're doing, because we recently on my birthday just had like both sides of the family come up, and everyone's like super excited what we're doing, so like we're not like pressured to go back home yet. We used to do it all the time. But right now we're just chilling, finishing this project off. Yeah.
The project is Sadbeargvng and Femi Gvng.
Yes, Sadbeargvng, Femi Gvng. It's Femi Gvng first. Sadbeargvng is just supporting, in the sense of that's outside. I run the bones. So and that's our like structure that we got. That's our secret sauce.
It's kind of like awkward to ask these questions with Femi in the room.
No,
but and also because I already got a chance to ask all these.
But you know what's crazy though? I'm the most awkward one though. Like Femi will say he will get more awkward. I will.
But the question is like, what are the goals? So like, where are we trying to get Femi Gvng? Like, what's the next?
Femi Gvng.
Since you say that's number one,
I would say where I'm prospectively trying to get Femi Gvng is at a level where it's got a little bit more creative control, no matter where it's being called. In the sense of, we just need that ultimate respect and support. I need, when Femi Gvng's there, just witness and understand the work that's going into it and what's being given. You know what I'm saying? Like, Femi Gvng is its release to the outside world, in the sense of, if you can't afford to go outside, then you should probably show up, because that's where we come from and that's where we're bringing, knowing that our time here is limited. So Pittsburgh does have a time span.
Shelf life. Pittsburgh's got a shelf life.
Pittsburgh's got a shelf life, but we
parties.
will keep Pittsburgh home. It's just one of those things that my goal is to make sure that while Femi is here more, that it gets its support that it needs, because it is what Pittsburgh is asking for, in the sense of, I feel like I got to go somewhere out there to get this. And it's like, well, Wade Anthony is actually from out there as well, you know. So we tag team with her experiences and my lifestyle. Cool, you guys want that? We got that.
I think we were talking about a little bit on the last podcast about how it was like, it's not always easy to get people across a bridge, and about how there's a bit of a limit to how many times you can invite the same folks to the same type of events in this city. There's probably, there definitely are cities that are very different. So Pittsburgh doesn't have like a tourist pull. Nobody's coming here to dance that doesn't live here, unless they're in an hour away. There's cities like New York City and Miami and Los Angeles where that's not the case, and Vegas, right? So that's really all four, right? New York, Miami, LA, Vegas.
Yeah, you're about right. You're about right. I would say, with that being said, that's the artist's part to show its full. It's like when the teacher says, show your work, right? You got to like, just do it. We talked before before we went live, we talked about like, there's certain things you have to do for free. You have to sometimes, I've learned this, and this is from Anthony's Locker, and this is like some of our secret sauce. A lot of the failures she'll never see, because I've already made them through a retail standpoint. So in the sense of, you got to have customer eyes is what I come up with. And as long as you stay in those places and realize what they need, but what you're trying to do, right? That's how you maintain authenticity, your own direction, but also to, this is the community, so this is the equation we need to do to make us.
Can you talk about the retail experience? Was it a store that you owned? And where was it? And what was the deal?
I am the only person in this world that had the catalog that I had by himself. No partners, no investors. It started with $500, and I got it all the way up to a $2.1 million business. And it's just something, and that's kind of like the reason why I kind of like put that belief into her, because like she's like entering that, right? Like she's entering like that high level where like those numbers become real. And it's just like, Pittsburgh will never appreciate it. And the reason why I didn't appreciate it the first time, and it was my fault, is because I didn't give an intent. I didn't tell Pittsburgh that this was dope. I just did it knowing that it was dope in my culture. This time with her, we're going to go out, do something, and say, you're going to like this.
Yeah.
I'm going to,
So not enough like maybe promotion or not just that. So it was massively successful, but it's not enough to succeed. You also have to show, like you said, show your work, make sure that people understand what happened. Like there needs to be a historical record or something like that. So what was it? I mean, I get it. Like, you owned a shoe store in downtown Pittsburgh or Bloomfield?
It was in Lawrenceville, 4314 Butler Street. It's cafe, whatever the fuck it is. And it was there since 2015. Yep. So I used to work at Enterprise Rental Car for like 4 years. And I used to make $1 million sales there. I was a high employee there, but I like to remain myself. I don't fake anything. And I think that's kind of like my secret sauce to like sales. Like, I would tell you not to buy something because I heard what you said you wanted. So, like, let's not be that guy that's like, yeah, you don't want it, but let me tell you the 8 benefits of why you should. And it's like,
you need that true coat.
Yeah, you need the true coat. You need the superior on top of then the insurance. Yeah, that just sucks. So I feel like my success has always been being true to the authentic moment, right?
Yep.
And I think with Anthony's Locker, knowing what my world was and knowing what Pittsburgh was, I didn't care what Pittsburgh, like, all right, numbers, right? I'm a big numbers guy. Pittsburgh's average mean is 33,000 per household. Not household. I wouldn't say household. Per person.
Per person, yeah.
Per
That's
person.
like average income or something?
Average income, I would say 54,000. So, yeah. But the average income from where I come from is 122. So, and you know what I'm saying? I come from the richest black area in the nation, which is PG County, and that's where all your athletes and celebrities, they just are there. Your politicians, so black per capita is a lot higher. So for me, I've already seen these numbers. So if I use that and if I wasn't unbiased, I'd fail.
Yeah.
So I just did something, and people liked it. Even though I didn't receive the numbers, people saw what it was, and I've always been able to carry what is now called clout.
Based on the shoe store. So did you offload all your product, or how did it work?
I mean, I probably off 85%. I always keep a little bit because money makes money. But because I operate the way I operate, I just put in the time and the effort wherever I'm at. So if she's got a 2-week or 3-week break and I only got 1 gig or 2 gigs, we're doing shoes. You know what I'm saying?
Which means flipping shoes on StockX?
Flipping shoes.
Locally or what?
Restorations
Oh, that's right. I saw something about that.
Yeah, I'm one of I wouldn't say pioneers. I don't want to ever disrespect actual pioneers, but I'm one of the very few from the beginning that still cobble. And I brought my boy Jace, 2-time Jace, out in Urban Necessities in Las Vegas. He had the sneaker machine. I'm probably 10th person in the nation to have a sneaker machine. You usually see them in movie theaters, but to actually put sneakers inside and have thousands of dollars up for grabs at $5 a play was a huge thing back in the day.
Wait. Explain this for me. It's a raffle for a pair of sneakers? They have that at the joint next to the Crown Barbershop.
You know exactly.
Where they got the Supreme joint. There's something. What is that thing?
So that's called a keymaster. And a keymaster, you just got to get the key in the hole, and whatever the key reciprocates, that's the price you get. You know what I'm saying? So people would spend I would say when I had it for the first month, we did $55K.
You invented that?
No. My boy Jace out in Las Vegas, he was the first one to think of not putting an iPad
smart.
In there. At the movie theater, he was
so smart.
He's yo, tie the shoes in there. So, and also too, it was the time when Louis Vuitton dropped with Supreme. So he put $10,000 pieces in there. And the machines, they're not rigged, but there is an algorithm to it. And he just set it to that. So when people do win, that's a huge promo day. People would think oh, he's just taking all the money. I'm dude, I didn't even pay for it yet. Don't even worry about that. I want you to win because a winner brings in more people. You know what I mean? It was just crazy. So 55,000. I used to have a line outside the store for days, just trying the machine on top of buying shoes. Or if they couldn't afford it, they would try to win it. It was a dope concept. The sneaker game, I've had Marty McFly, Back to the Future. There's only 89 in the world.
You own those?
I owned them.
They're gone.
They're gone. If they were
What
NFT,
size?
I would be proud, but they're not. They're just gone.
Well, that's the question, though. So are you completely off physical, tangible, and completely on NFT? Do you still feel like there's value in the intangible assets? And are you collecting sneakers, or are you done?
All right, so I'm in a space right now where I have enough resources to do those things that I used to dream of or to at least idolize. So, I think my allure right now is being equal with my idols in the sense of, I know it sounds far-fetched, just some guy wants to be up there with Nike, but it's my I'm not going to say best friend, I'd be kind of wilding, but a close friend of mine's, Cool Kai, who just got sued by Nike. You know what I mean? He just dropped a shoe that all it has that's different is the sole, and he came out with a lightning bolt instead of a and they basically sued him because the silhouette is supposed to be trademarked.
Sure.
Anyway, back in 2015 when I started, I met one of my mentors, Sealy, and Sealy, one of his vendors was Kai. Kai was just starting when he was young. And he was like, look, I got this guy. Can't just sell shoes at your store. Got to sell clothes. So he put me on with Kai. Kai had me hook me up with David, a.k.a. David Weekend. I used to sell all that stuff. And he had John Geiger. He had...
That was what I was just about to ask. You know, he also got sued, right?
Yeah.
Same exact thing.
Well, Kai used to work with, like...
Oh, that was
like
what it was.
Geiger and Tiana Taylor.
Yeah,
There was like a weird circle back then in a sense of... I don't know how they know each other, but...
I bought a pair of Geiger shoes because I thought they were going
He's
to
high quality.
increase in value.
He's high quality.
I bought the 11s, the lows. The Club 11 lows, the tie-dye joints.
Yeah.
They did not increase in value. And then I ended up having to wear them. And I kind of like them.
No disrespect to Geiger, but...
Like, I only buy 13s, obviously, because, like...
Geiger's never increase in value. Only because, and this is, like, really dope. Hear me out.
But why? I feel like it's so dope.
I think people it really attests to, like... I think we really don't appreciate things that are great. I think things are just that great that we just can't assume. Like, I just heard some kids say, like... it was the way they worded it. Like, it's not you have a product and you sell it. The reason why that's big is the story. That's all it is. It's the uniqueness. It's the authenticity. So, like, John Geiger is cool.
But he has a great story.
It's fine, but
he's
sell
local
out.
And he's
still only worth selling out 400 pairs. You know what I'm saying? Like, 400 pairs, even if he had 1,000, I would give him 2,000. Maybe 20,000. I'll give him 20,000 pairs. I can see him selling out that, and that's great. But you still are hopping into a culture that has Jordans that drop in $1 million.
Why?
And then we still pay $50 over.
Sure. So, but then why is Yeezy able to do multi-million where Geiger can't? What's the difference? That's
the greatness part. Geiger is nowhere near Kanye, and I would never even mention that in the sense of, like, Geiger is literally where I am at, where Geiger is. Like, Geiger would say, I'm where he's at, and Kanye would say, Geiger's where I'm at. Like, Kanye is this.
It's a whole nother level.
It's a whole nother level. Like, Geiger's at a place where
creativity and
him and Kool Kai,
innovation.
They make millions every couple months, you know what I mean? And so, like, they have the factories to run that stuff, the employees to pay for. They're in a different problem, just like with me and Femi's problem. Like, we're not getting booked for the gig. It's our gig. I got to make sure people aren't drunk. There's other things I'm aware of because I make a percentage. I don't make a fixed rate.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Percent of the bar,
different,
right?
Like,
or percent of door? Or
Door. I wish it was bar.
The bar sales, I think, are solid. I mean, that's how Nugget does it.
Yeah. Tell Nugget to hire me.
It's the only place I can DJ. It's the only place I can DJ because it's the only place that has turntables.
It's the only place I haven't DJed.
They're the only place in Pittsburgh that has turntables.
That one and Cobra. So I'm shouting out.
Cobra has turntables?
They can because not Nugget.
Bamboo.
Vince has them. Yeah.
Oh, word. So
yeah, I'm shouting them.
So I'll get Vince to book me then. Because that's upsetting to me that I haven't played here, and it's been a year. It's been a full year. I have not played one show in Pittsburgh.
Can we title this different?
Yeah. What do you want?
You said a year?
Live with, I've been here for a year. July 1st, it'll be 1 year.
That's big ups to you.
Although Kev, the reggae DJ, you want to call it something else?
No. I'm saying like when we like put this out.
Oh,
like,
we can call it whatever you want.
All right.
You want to call it Sadbeargvng?
No. The Wade, Beef, Swift, Nugget, and Bamboo.
Oh yeah, we'll get a lot more hits.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Beef would
just
be
like
anything with beef. You're good.
I'm beefing with them so hard. Oh man, you guys, you hear that?
Fuck those dudes.
Fuck those guys. Yeah.
Such nice motherfuckers.
Those nice ass guys.
Trying to put people on.
Those handsome ass guys. Those legends.
Transformed their careers to own venues.
Fuck their
living
tenure.
their truth.
Yeah.
Completely like
their greatness.
Like putting on for all different genres of music. A lot of like LGBTQ type of nights and like hiring artists, black, gay, gender queer, all different artists all the time. Both of them. I feel like
they've been like
drag brunches.
Those two guys,
creating
just to
spaces.
give them flowers, I would say.
Big time.
Been around for a while. Like I would say like in my hoodlum years, those were the places to go, Like I can count on like those establishments for them, but now that I'm working and now that we're equal, you some of them bitches.
Book me. Book me.
Book me now. Like now it's
put me
no,
in.
it's not like it's not just
I'm
some
ready
pounds.
to
Yeah,
play.
let's play. But anyway,
Today,
I love those guys.
look at me. I can be center field.
But nah, it's all love. Yeah, the DJ thing is just so dope. I fucks with that.
You still love DJing?
I do.
What do you love about it?
All right, so look, DJing is like the lube of my career. I literally can use DJing for any reason, and it just makes sense why I'm there. It's like, oh, he's the guy that does, okay. Or he's running the sound. Oh, okay. It's like, nah. But also, too, because I'm such a business person, like, some of those rooms, like, allow me a reason to talk to certain people.
But I kind of like photos for that same reason, but it's better because you can actually move around and hit like 3-4 shows a night.
Yeah.
Like, I like to take my camera out and do 2, 3, 4 shows. And, like, I get to do exactly the same thing I was able to do when I was DJing, but I can actually talk to people, have conversations, give out merch, and interface with every group of people in the entire room.
That's why I get my kick out of it, and then when it's her turn, I turn off. Like, I'm only her manager until the clock starts, you know? After that, I get free range. I don't need to manage those people because those are my friends now. I only manage it to keep it black and white so things don't get loose in a sense of, hey, girl, what's up? We doing this thing. No, it's location. This the price. I need an invoice. And then it's back to, hey, girl. And it's cool. I don't care. I don't need to be there for that. But other than that, it allows that part to be respected and grow. And then
that's what's up.
Yeah, those relationships outside, people understand that. I think those are more healthier relationships.
Yeah. Ain't nothing going on but the rent.
Yeah, it's like, I know you said what you said, but you asked me to do this. You know? Yeah. So, you know, everybody knows what our household has. We got a lot going on, so we got to make sure, too. I tell all artists, too, because I don't manage. I only have one person I manage, but look at what you're doing. Make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to as a friend, but, like, as an adult that has responsibilities, like, let's make it make sense. I do have to leave her. I do have to leave my family, my pups, and all that stuff. So time is a thing, and I would like to come back home to a happy family. So it's like those things have to be compensated for. It's not always about money. It's just making sure those people are thought of type stuff. And I think that's an easier way to do business, too, when you just consider, like, hey, I don't have to pay them, but maybe I give them a ride because it just takes away from the family car. You know what I mean? So I think there's that.
Do you think that you'll bring on more, like, artists under management?
I love doing that.
Under Sadbear?
Oh, under that.
What is Sadbear? Like, does it have to do with Kid Cudi and Kanye?
No, like, Sadbear is like, so, like, anyway, my dad passed a year ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's been a lot going on, dude. Like, I'm only 34, but, like, I probably lived like 4 lives. But my dad passed the same day. It was actually the day I closed my shop. My dad passed as I was asleep. My mom called me at like 4 a.m. Jesus. And I was already drawing up my NFTs, and I used to like these little cool cats. I thought the name Cool Cats was cool. It was super doodle. It was super easy. And I was like, man, what do I like? And what am I? And everybody looks at me as this big bear. But my eyes are always low. And I tell her stories all the time. But it's not because I'm sad. It's just because they're low. But I'm like, fuck it. We'll just call it Sad Bear. And I'm like, all right, Sadbeargvng, which really means, and I learned this from a comedian called Dion Lewis. He had a comedy special where he did a great show. It was amazing. And then at the very end, he gets into a very personal bag, and he expresses, like, you guys love that show, but I'm an artist, and I actually just lost my mom. And he just showed that a lot of artists that are really good, such as Femi, such as myself, we put on these shows, but we really need people to treat us as human. Some of the demands as an artist are just unreal. So, you know, I wanted to make Sad Bear more of a transparent version of what artists are. This big entity that's actually sad, but everyone else just makes whatever of it because of its appearance. So that's where Sadbeargvng comes from.
It's like kind of like the court jester.
Yeah.
How you're entertaining, you put on a happy face, tears of a clown.
But I'm really a slave.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not one of those things. I mean, it's all perception. But I would say, like, I mean, obviously we touched on it on the earlier part. it's been super hard having a bulk schedule for June.
It's a lot of shows.
It's a lot of shows. That
and then we got Summer Lumma in July, 7th and 8th.
And then it's like on top of that.
Brillo Box,
which is crazy.
Thunderbird Music Hall.
Yeah.
Get your tickets in advance
Summer
before
Lumma.
they sell out.
Summer Lumma. That was a great segue. I would say Summer Lumma is everything that we have worked for, everything that we stand for, and everything it should be.
I'm the official photographer.
You can be. I have a press pass for you. I have tickets for you as well. Matter of fact, let's make sure that happens. Because we're in Ubers, so like I don't have my car like glove compartment like old school. Just like give them one of those, honey. But we got you on the Summer Lumma tickets. Summer Lumma is a 2-day event where we want to uphold a standard of music, and we do that by choosing some of the best local talent, some of the best talent we've just witnessed on our own journey, whether it's from California, whether it's from Detroit, DC, it could be wherever, New York. It's one of those things where we want to get the Captain Planet vibes going, and it's it's like you're cool over there, you're cool over there,
gonna take pollution down to 0.
Exactly, and that's how old I am as well.
Are you which of the artists are you excited about? Can you talk about any of them?
Me. I can't wait till you guys hear me. I'm a little bit of everything, but with the recent stuff that's been going on in the past 2 weeks, we definitely want to do a little tribute. And I think it being so authentic, I'm not so worried about pleasing people with this show.
Yes.
Last year was we were just happy to be at Thunderbird. Shout out to Thunderbird, shout out to Brillo Box. We love both those.
Did you guys see pictures from Selecta's 50th?
I did. It's crazy. It's gonna be crazier. I'm sorry. Your 50th was your 50th.
Yo,
that's a 50-year-old birthday party. This is a DJ festival. Like this is. They
had it up to the rafters, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm about to have this to the heavens. Like I'm gonna have this shit outside. Like I'm sorry, Selecta, but there's no way you beat youth. You can't beat Father Time, Selecta. You're old. Fuck it. Just let me win.
You're beefing with everybody today.
You know why I like to beef with everyone? Because it's just easier to do that. It sharpens my pen. I'm a cornerback. I talk shit. That's what I do. But it's one of those things.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
No. But
I was hearing it on my Instagram DMs, so at least now we get to hear it in person.
No. I keep the same energy. No, Selecta's my guy. Any OG gets my respect.
Not from you. From you. From other people.
Look, this is the one thing I told Fem. I said, people in great positions can take that type of lick. Like if you're a boss, like it's not the first time you've heard a complaint. You know what I mean? So I like to talk heavy because the ones that can actually handle it will be fine. And the ones that can't, you just showed your weakness, and that's where I'm taking. So that's some of the secret sauce too. So, but no, man.
I understand now why you let him manage you.
Yeah.
This guy's got it.
It's easy. It's just easy for me. I'm a leader. But no, some of them is dope. It's got 14 DJs, DC, Maryland, Virginia, Detroit, Cali, New York.
Wow. Who's coming in from Detroit?
We got Afy. I'm not too familiar with Afy, so I can't speak on it too much, but this was a DJ Femi selection, and I trust DJ Femi's ear, and they met, and they have a good vibe, and I can't wait to hear her. She's had a couple of things drop recently on social media, so I like her vibe. I like her personality. I can't wait to see her. Gianni... What's crazy about Gianni is he went to Duquesne too, and he played football there, but he got there a year after I left. And to see him traveling to London and whatnot, doing the DJing thing and whatnot, and just being the best him and growing and flourishing, I honestly, I'm just excited to see, what life has brought him and what experiences he's going to bring to Pittsburgh. So that's dope.
Sick.
I got my OG, Yamez. He's always there to teach me how to scratch, so I'm just going to be behind him, just enjoying that show by myself.
I invited him on maybe yesterday because I just
it's my granddad.
Realized he's
old as fuck.
Still in Pittsburgh.
He's old as fuck. Ask him about when the telephone was invented. He has great stories about that.
So he used to do a party with a guy named Cobra Crames, which was a crew called Gold Whistle.
Yeah.
Which is in Brooklyn when I was living in Brooklyn. And I used to see him a lot. Word. They brought me out for a show at the Tender Trap, I think it was called. And there was also afters, which were insane. So the afters in New York, it's a different ball of wax because the party goes till 4. So the afters is 4 to 8.
I kind of lost that, man.
You hit that sunrise and you're like, I gotta go home.
I'm gonna give if I had to do it to 4, I would probably be fired as a DJ now. I'm such like dad mode. I'm so dad mode. I look at 2 o'clock and I'm like, unbutton my top button on my pants and everything, dude. I'm just like making sure she's got the to-go like box and all that. But also too, shout out to Yamez because he's also a dope DJ in the sense of like he's always down to like help grow and like he's always down to like just do some like educational stuff in the background. So a lot of people don't know that either. He probably just mad because I just blew up his spot and people don't know that. So, but Yamez is dope.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna have him teach me some patterns when he gets here.
That's what he definitely got a lot of those.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm ready to take my cut game up to the next level.
Where are you going next?
Good question. Wow. I'm actually in the middle of figuring it out right now. I'm applying multiple places. I really like Cincinnati. The program there is amazing. There's this total maverick in the field. So basically, everyone agrees that Parkinson's is because of this bad protein called alpha-synuclein. And
that's a big word.
Yeah, alpha-synuclein. So that's alpha-syn is SYN is the short form.
Which part what does that control?
It's clearly phylogenetically conserved in mammals going back more than 3 million years. So as far back as we can go, we know that this is crucial for the normal functioning of the brain.
Okay.
And Alberto Espay makes this point beautifully on TEDx. He actually just released this. He just hit like 100,000 views on the TEDx that he launched at Wrigley Stadium. They did a live TEDx. It's amazing. And he talks about exactly this. So basically he says, every single person in the field is designing drugs to block the function of alpha-synuclein, to sequester it and remove it from the synapse.
Everything we're doing right now, recreational.
But none of those drugs work. All the drugs that we've come up with to remove this protein have failed. And the question is, well, maybe we got it wrong. Like, what if it's not actually Darth Vader? What if alpha-synuclein isn't actually the bad guy and it's dysfunctional alpha-synuclein? It's a loss of function rather than a abnormal function or too much aggregation.
Do you feel that our day and age, we have a huge accountability thing where if things are proven wrong, I think it takes longer to pivot than accept it.
Oh, absolutely. It's the reason that like I still get shit from my sibling about like the vaccine because they were like kicking indoors in LA trying to convince people to take it.
Right.
And now it's come out that like, well, it did help with hospitalization and death, but it probably didn't affect spread.
It wasn't a need.
It didn't affect the spread. Like it didn't like protect my patients from getting it. That was the reason they like were really pushing me to get it was because they didn't want me to kill grandma. They didn't want me to infect my patients.
That was the thing.
That was the line, right?
That was the line.
But it turned out not to necessarily be true. And there's a lot of people who are going to be really hesitant to say that because they were so invested. They were totally, completely committed to that project. And now you can't go back. You can't walk it back.
I feel like you can always walk something back. I would just say like the faster you get to it, the easier it gets. In a sense of, cool, we get it. Like I would say, all right, my secret sauce is that I can always see the other side's perspective. So I would say, all right, look, it was crazy. You guys needed an answer now. And I manned up and gave you an answer. And I was wrong. So guess what? We're just going to have tea and rice.
Yeah.
But
that didn't work.
I feel like a lot of people put a lot of pressure on like what it might sound like. And I feel like, honestly, just knowing like what it's like to be us now, like I just told her, like I used to have a huge speech problem in the sense of like I couldn't do public speaking. And now that I'm so fixated on what actually is mattering, like when I DJ, making sure it's sonically correct, making sure I'm on tempo, making sure like I got a decent like curated song. I can't worry about what I look like. You know what I mean? It almost goes back into like, how does it feel shaving? Like for a while I forgot like it does matter what I look like. I have to go outside. I need to do something. Yeah. So I'm just like, damn.
Remind me, I want to give you all my edits. I have 160 edits from the last 20 years or so, plus an extra probably 60 or 80 that I still need to adjust. I'm going to put them all, I'm going to make them all beautiful, like and clean and ready for Serato, perfectly tagged over the next 24 hours or so. And then I'm going to put them out just as part of my newsletter. just as part of my newsletter. I'm not going to put it in a tweet. I'm not going to put it on Instagram. Only if I have your email and you're signed up for my newsletter, you can have access to the edits for free.
That's an NFT.
I'm not going to sell them.
That's an NFT.
How so?
That's how that works.
What do you mean?
You can only get it here. That's an NFT.
But why does it have...
Like, that's a free NFT.
It's just a link.
Yeah, no, you're giving me free access to that link.
I actually do have receipts, though, because I can see how many people downloaded and who.
Yeah. Yeah, the utility is your link. Like, I like, if you were to say, hey, this NFT was $10.
Do our own NFTs? So
yeah,
can you and I create... This is my idea. Maybe we should say it right here. But
no, we can. No one can stop it.
Just color palettes. So
I'm literally doing something called the shade of orange right now.
Where every color, we just release colors.
Yes.
And because why is it pixel
right
art?
now.
Why is pixel art so popular? Is it because it's small enough in file size that you can keep track of it easily?
I would say it's a preference. Everything art wise is a preference, but I would say pixel art to me is just dope because as someone who does all types of art, I do all mediums. Pixel art is so technical, and as an engineer, whoa, it's gotta look right. Like the Kaiju Kings, they're a 69 by 69 bit. So, and also too in the Web3 space, we like to joke a lot. So a lot of numbers are 420, a lot of things are 69.
69 by 69, that's genius.
Exactly, right? So
wow.
there's a home base already but behind the art. But anyway, the 69 by 69 bit, they have animations, they have all that art, 10,000 different characters and traits all done in that bit. And I try to draw one. It's not as easy just drawing it. There's rules to it. Yeah. If you have one color, that color has 3 colors because that's how you shade light and dark. It's really crazy.
There was one with DNA.
Yeah.
Where it comes together.
It's just
Is that the birth of the kaiju? Did you see this joint? You see my actual kaiju?
That's a kind of crazy.
Octeal.
That's
Octeal tattoo.
Did you text me this? Because I'm making sure that my kaiju is like...
The link?
Yeah.
To this?
Yeah.
Did you not get it? Let me tweet it out to you.
I got it. I got it right now.
All right.
So look, don't be alarmed when there's like 10,000 kaijus in here screaming kaiju on top and roar, and they're all over the world. Malaysia,
hey fam, thank you.
Hong Kong, Cali. Shout outs to Dots. But yeah, no man, like it's real. Like everything you just said, like it's all about creating utility and creating value to what your work is. So that's what's going on right now in the NFT space. Just to bring it all full circle, if you have something that you think is more valuable than just letting it out for free, it can be an NFT.
So you're saying my edits I could release as an NFT? I don't understand.
You just said you had how many?
There's probably like 220, 240. One of them is crazy. I actually found I found 3 different sets of edits using my old website. So this is a long story, but basically my website had kind of crashed. It was being hosted on Blogger. I went back and resurrected it with chest compressions.
Yeah, like actual physical.
Now it's working again. But I went back and I found all these old links to Media Share and Zshare.
Yeah.
They were still working.
Oh, that's wild.
And multiple sets of edits that I had no longer had access to were rediscovered, including my Good Kid, Mad City edits, which were incredibly popular on multiple DJ services. You know how, where do you get your music when you DJ?
So I am taking my music from YouTube and other platforms like Tidal and SoundCloud.
Yeah. So you stream it the way Femi does?
Yeah.
Crazy, wild. It blows my mind because I can't imagine relying on the internet in order to DJ, but I get it. I'm old, I'm a dinosaur. I'm wearing a dinosaur. I am a dinosaur.
That's hilarious.
Where's my cane? My walker. Listen to this. Hang on. Everybody pause and turn off the fan. An old man in a wheelchair rides by a baby, newborn, in a stroller. They lock eyes, and he realizes they're the same person.
I feel like that happens all the time. And don't ask. I'm a weirdo. I'm super weird. I think that happens all the time. I always think about the person that crossed the street at the red light Where does the person go? Is that the end of the video game? Are they just like the extra in my movie? I don't want to go there. I got a weird past. But
I used to think that all the time. I used to think that I was the only real person and everyone else were angels kind of testing me. Now we would say like NPCs.
Yeah, if you heard my story, all right, look, I'm going to give you a couple quick ones, okay? I won the white M&M. You are old enough to remember this one because this was a national event. See, everyone's bringing Japanese whiskey, and I love it. Remember the white M&M when you had to find the white M&M in the bag?
I think so, yeah.
It was $1 million.
Oh, holy shit, no.
I found that.
No way.
Yeah.
You won $1 million.
Yeah.
What'd you spend it on?
Nothing. It got,
you still have it?
No. My mom like destroyed it. She thought I was like lying. She's like, this is fake. And like, dude, I win so much and I lose so much. But like,
you're lucky, like Barry Gordy.
I'm super lucky.
Yeah. He tells a story of being able to roll sixes over and over again when he was playing craps.
I just know when it's gonna happen. I can't just say I need it now. Let's be lucky. Yeah. It's just like, yo, I got this feeling. This is the one, and then like months later, it's just like that. That stuff's strong. No.
I brought ice up. I brought ice up for this. Hang
honestly, if it wasn't for this
one, I brought ice up.
I'm gonna be the first person to piss on this podcast.
Nobody's ever taken a pee break.
No, and then me will be. I'm like, all right, let's get it. And it's like all nice. This shit looks like, what is that from, the Radisson?
Shout out to Dave. Shout out to Dave, my buddy Dave. He got me. Wait, no. My mom got me this. My mom got me this.
Oh, your mom stole
because she bought me this. Thanks.
Thanks, Mom.
She bought me this because she thought that I was going to use it.
All right, well, let's use it. Shit. Thanks, Mom.
And
I like when you get to use Mom's gift because thanks. I like when I get to use Mom's gift because like it's really hard telling Mom no. So when you get to use it, it just like validates it.
Oh yeah, no, moving with this shit was definitely annoying, and it was like a lot. Like there was
thanks, Mom.
Part of it, like it was a whole kit. Like you can see the tray back here, right?
Oh, it was a piece set.
Yeah. It had like a it was like an alcoholics set. And it included like this knife, I guess, to slice your limes and lemons or whatever, oranges. But like, I got kids, man.
Dude.
Like, why are you giving me just blindingly sharp pieces of copper?
That'd be a terrible gift for a DJ.
To figure out where to put.
Don't buy DJs anything for alcohol. We get it for free. I think a lot of people don't understand that part, and it's not even like the glorious part. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know too many alcoholic DJs.
Oh, shout out to Fashion. Way to go, man.
Hold on. Was that a segue?
He got over it. Yeah, no, he got over it. He stopped drinking, and he's all about
like
to you then.
Cheers.
How sharp he is now, and how he's been able to like. It's actually delicious,
God.
Right?
It is
hone in on his mixes a lot more and shit.
Shit's like Mr. Clean. Inside of my mouth feels like a bald head white man's head. Oh my God.
Shout out to my mom for buying the set, and shout out to DJ PDC for dropping off the Roku gin distilled in Japan with 6 unique Japanese botanicals.
He said Japanese. He said, I've never heard Japanese. I've never heard that. This is great. We're having Japanese whiskey. This is very eclectic. I feel like Ron Burgundy right now. Remember that?
Yeah, I like when he talks about the Indian food diaper.
Yes.
That smells like a diaper full of Indian food.
No.
That's like not very culturally sensitive, I guess.
Is it? I guess so. Not anymore, I guess.
I can't say that.
Yeah, have you ever thought
many
about
books.
How many like things?
Many leather-bound books.
Because you said without releasing the exact date.
My home
you're from the 80s.
Smells of mahogany.
It's a hard time to like be raised in the 80s and today's world and like know right from wrong.
Milk was a bad choice.
Exactly. We have a lot of that backing. Like, think about that. You ever think about like how many jokes were told to us that are just not good now? And we're left to decide which ones are good. That's a tough task. America.
When he punts that dog off the bridge, though, that was pretty funny.
It's a Baxter. That was his name. Did you just punt Baxter? Like, to kick a dog now, like, you may get canceled. Like, yeah, no, you can't do a lot of things.
Will Ferrell's a genius, man. I think Elf, to me, is still probably my favorite holiday movie.
I think that's a family favorite.
You guys love it?
I was just wearing that shirt yesterday, 2 days ago. Yep.
Yeah, Elf, to me, and the reason is because it's a perfect comedy, but it's also a perfect love story. It's also just a perfect story. It works as a children's story, and it's a Christmas movie. It does all five, but perfectly. The script is perfect. The physical comedy is perfect.
It's a good time.
The jokes are classic. The music is great. The acting is solid.
I think him being 6'4" and trying to be, I think him being aware of himself, I think is like his best.
And yet, it's not even in my top 5 for his movies. I don't think.
No.
I don't think it's even in my top 5. But as a Christmas movie.
It's a classic. It's a classic Christmas movie, and it's a classic movie.
I think I want to drink on the podcast more. I feel like it gets so much more loose. Like I'm able to just like lighten the thing up.
No, because I feel like now we're getting to the grit.
Elf is
People want to know if Elf is a classic or is it top 5, and is there a difference?
No, the top 5. I mean, I think, like you said, Anchorman is probably in there.
Anchorman's definitely in there.
Yeah.
One.
Step Brothers to me is
Step Brothers is above Anchorman.
And Old School
is under Step Brothers.
Yeah. Step Brothers is better. I agree. People sleep on Step Brothers so hard.
I don't.
But the boats and hoes. And,
all right, look. This is how I grade comedy. By the quotes. Mm-hmm. Me and my friends back in like 2007 on Facebook, we used to fill up our About Me section with the quotes of our favorite movies.
Yeah, me too. Do you remember any of them? This ain't champagne, darling. It's holy water.
Well, first of all, my dog is named after Old School, which is
Blue.
You're my boy, Blue.
Yeah.
Boom. There we go.
Yeah.
That's my dad's favorite quote too. And then when he does the perfume, the Panther.
Sex Panther?
Yeah, Sex Panther.
60%
of the time, it works all the time. That's what it is. 60% of the time, it works all the time.
Dust in the wind.
And Afternoon Delight is a great song.
I close my eyes.
Do you do vocals?
Only for a second, then the moment's gone.
First of all, if you can hear this in my head, it's clean.
One more time. Dust
you can definitely give the guy outside on 40th Street, Butler, a run for his money.
Sky rockets in flight. Whoop. Afternoon delight. Whoop.
I had to entertain it. Now that's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing that they can just go into it though.
Like, but he does a lot of music in his even in Step Brothers. He did that whole opera at the end at the Catalina Wine Mixer. He's
the Catalina Wine Mixer.
He's not the greatest, obviously, but he does it, and it's always I
think it's those Saturday Night Live people are very multi-talented. You know, they all have to be able to write. They all have to be able to sing, dance somewhat.
But that's what
physical
gives them
comedy,
that nerdy vibe,
Chris
right?
Farrell,
they
all got that.
But I put Will Ferrell up there with Jamie Foxx.
Chris Farley. What the fuck am I talking about?
Oh, Chris Farley. Damn.
I called him Chris Farrell.
Chris Farley, but he was a dope one. I think he would have been the perfect Peter Griffin. Wow.
Yeah, it's really sad. I mean, obviously, cocaine really messed him up. It's a terrible drug.
I mean, it was the 80s. It was the 80s.
Yeah, Rick James gets shouted out in the Berry Gordy book towards the end, and he really I didn't know pulls a lot of punches. Yeah, he was on Motown. Oh, apparently, in LA. So Motown was in LA for the last 10 years. I think that he sold it in 83.
That's crazy. I never knew that.
They did Motown 25. I'm going to watch it tonight. Apparently it was a legendary. It won Emmys. It won 4 Emmys. Michael Jackson introduces the fucking moonwalk on Motown 25. That's where he first debuts it.
That's actually a crazy fact.
Apparently. And who else performs? I mean, Diana Ross, the Supremes, apparently the Four Tops and the Temptations they both come back from retirement and do a battle where they're going back and forth song after song way before, what was it called? What's the battle now?
Not Versus.
Yeah, Versus. Way before Versus battle.
Okay, yeah. You know what we need to start doing for cultural reasons? Myths. there are no more myths out there. Like, you know, it used to bring like a story to its head. Like, oh, I heard, like, all right, Prince, Michael Jackson, they're great. But there are like stories. You're like, yo, I heard he did this. And it's like, we don't do that anymore because you can just Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to start lying to my kids when I have kids.
There's an artist named Picture Plane. Like, I gotta unfollow him soon. I mean, I used to go to his shows in Brooklyn because like he was very interesting, creative. Like, you know, he had multi-talented. He had his clothing line, which was interesting, called Alien Body. His music was really interesting because he would sing over these electronic beats. And it was dark and it was like decent poetry. But he tweeted out today something like, "What's this crazy mist in the air in New York City? Is there a forest fire somewhere?" I'm like, dude, like Google it. Like, what are you talking about?
Exactly.
Literally, like it's the #1 news story in every state.
Like that that literally kills me with artists, that type of stuff. But like if you do something within your realm where like, all right, for instance, right, we have DJ Femi here, and Femi was to say like something that pertains to just her lifestyle, that's a myth. But when you say random generic shit, you're a dumbass.
Testable shit.
Yeah.
Random generic testable
exactly.
shit for a reaction.
Exactly.
You're saying
like,
it.
That's nasty.
It kills me. I'll unfollow. As soon as I see, like, the thing that Twitter's being flooded with right now are these little reaction pieces designed to generate.
I do the same thing on Facebook.
Gone.
I do it on Facebook.
Gone.
I'm like,
you post anything, like,
it's like, why should men...
What are your favorite Prince songs?
Should men and women go 50-50 on the bill? And I'm like, done. This is a dumb thing.
This isn't talk radio.
This isn't.
I'm not with it.
Very social. It's very like surface level questions, and that's why
it's designed for engagement. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to drive engagement.
You don't grow from it at all. It's just meant to argue, and no one's going to get their point because no one's going to care in the comments section. By the way,
feels fake. It feels manufactured.
Speak of fake, this bladder is not.
Oh, go ahead.
Can we take
your time? Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Pause.
Hey.
Bring Femi on. Bring Femi on. Come on. Come on.
Go for it.
Let's go. Let's go. Tell me about the Sumalama artists. You ready? Are you cool?
Hey,
you good?
yeah,
it's all right?
let's get it.
All right, let's go.
What's good, y'all? Cheers. Look, I got my water. Cheers.
Oh, I like your cup.
Thanks.
You know, I won that at
Looking for the win.
I won it at Hemingway's.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
What's that exactly?
It's a bar. It's underneath the towers on Pitt campus.
I swear. Okay. Yeah. I've heard of that before.
Yeah, pretty legendary. We were talking about it a lot with Ryan with Basic because we used to go there before the pregame show. It was the pregame for the pregame show.
Tight.
When we had our radio show. I had a couple different radio shows. Two main ones. Well, two main ones. One was the pregame show with Basic, which was at WPTS in Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. The other one was the Sacco and Vanzetti dance party on WRBB in Boston.
Oh.
And so I did probably, it was awesome. I did like almost 4 years of college radio. All put together.
What did you do on that radio show? What did you talk about?
Live mixing the whole time. I just found a bunch of the mixes on my
so that's
Dropbox.
The mixes you were talking about.
No, the edits are the ones I was talking about. I don't know what to do with the live mixes, the radio mixes. They're decent, but like, who gives a shit?
Radio mix,
what should I do with it? Throw it out, right?
Archive it. You know, like anybody wants to know, like, hey, what did you do? I have these archived radio shows.
Yeah, it deserves its own.
Hard drive them, you know, like.
Well, I think it deserves like either a Mixcloud, like its own Mixcloud page linked to on my website, something like that, where like if you're interested, you can click it and you can go listen, something like that.
You should put them out somewhere.
It would be much more interesting if I had the vocals. So the problem with it is I only recorded through my mixer and I didn't get the mics. The mics were really what was interesting about it.
That's just like the younger you know, like that's also.
How do we protect ourselves from the younger us?
That's
what do we do? How do I know I'm not making terrible mistakes right now?
I hear you. I do.
We should just take like 1 hour a week, maybe like Sunday morning, 10 a.m., and just like meditate on all the things that I'm going to regret that I'm not doing.
Like, what are you going to tell your younger self? But like your current younger self when you're...
I think probably spend more time with my kid, not be on my phone so much when I'm around him. Mm-hmm. Those are the things.
If these are things that we can like think about right now and like actively have an answer for, then like those are things that you can actively like be making a change on. Like,
I love
right
your
now,
cardioid mic so much.
Oh,
The
thank
left
you.
bicep, that's what it
Thank
is.
you.
That's cardioid.
Thank you.
Basic used to use one. He would take it to every
the
show.
old school shits.
Yes, and he would hang it from the ceiling. Like he would clip something up in the ceiling so it would hang down, and he could just swing
Yeah.
it around like
That
this.
gives a good live vibe.
And it sounds crazy too. It has like a little bit of distortion.
Like a record. It's like you get a sound that you can't really get with other mics unless it's like some digital shit. But if you want like a sound people use this mic for a reason,
Yeah.
Legends, for sure.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you. All right, let me give
6
you your
mics in the
interviewee
source.
back.
No. I want to hear about some of them really quick.
Okay, yes. Some of them
6 mics in the source. We borrowed one from Femi's arm. Let's go.
Say less. What do the kids do these days? They're like,
Oh my god.
Samalama. Right. Samalama. We got 14 DJs. 2-day DJ festival. July 7th, July 8th. First day is going to be at Brillo Box. The second day is going to be at Thunderbird. And we have DJs from all over the place. Some local, some from different parts of the country. All different types of music. And should be a really good, cool vibe.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
It's going to be awesome. It's right before my Miami trip.
Yes. And it's
My last weekend
birthday
before Miami.
celebration.
Let's go. Happy birthday. Yeah. When they were playing Selecta Happy Birthday at Thunderbird, the sold out Thunderbird show,
Hey.
they sang the Stevie Wonder version. They didn't do the Disney version.
Oh, yeah. Fire.
Happy birthday to you.
You have to.
Happy birthday. And I didn't know that was Stevie until
Yeah.
last night when I was reading my book. And he talks about, Gordy in his book talks about that being one of his like Grammy winners or whatever. One of his best sellers. Crazy.
The black version.
Which I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
And
It's like one of them unheard, like unsaid things.
Is it real though?
It's a real song, and the song is really long.
6 that I remember.
You don't do Disney at your birthday parties?
I've never had happy birthday.
What happens at my birthday parties?
Wait, nobody's ever sang to you?
No, I've never had
that would be so sad.
I've never had a happy birthday like regular version.
Okay.
It's
okay.
always the black version.
Wow.
Yeah,
What about you?
It's always the regular version and then the black version, or just the black version.
Yeah, school was a regular version.
I would rather do it at the club and just do 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Go.
That's
Go.
usually
Go.
what gets played at the club. That or
Straight
the
into,
birthday.
hey girl,
it's
your birthday. We're gonna party.
Always to change.
Wait. Hey baby, what's your name?
I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Oh my
It's
God.
not popular enough to be considered a happy birthday song.
It is. It is a birthday song.
I'm trying to think what else could be a birthday song.
It's called Go Girl, I thought.
Oh, say I.
Say thank you. Trey Songs. Say it's Trey Songs. It's your birthday. We gonna party. That's what I was saying. You know, I didn't get to the say part.
It's a slight birthday song.
Excuse me?
It is.
It's a
slight
definite birthday song.
It
All right, I would
is.
say it didn't because of his recent acts. So
Oh, what did he do? What'd Trey do?
Trey, he
Bad?
kinda been
Canceled?
doing-
Done?
You should Google.
I don't know if he's
Trey
canceled,
songs.
but he's just been.
I'm not Googling. I need to pull it up,
he's been
Jamie.
doing so much.
It's like it's not up there like bad, but it's like it needs to be confirmed first. What
Okay.
happened
Okay.
before
He just been getting
we
into some.
happily just celebrate his
Always
music.
on Shade Room.
I can't believe that Cosby's gonna get out before R. Kelly.
Of course.
That's crazy to me.
Man,
I mean, I don't know
I
what
think Cosby
Kel's
gets
did,
out
but
before Billy's not. Oh, yeah.
I'll give you your interview back now.
Pause.
Now that I'm done with Samalama.
how's the bladder?
Thank you guys.
July 7th and 8th. Let's go.
Samalama.
Let's go. I love Brillo. I love both of those venues. I'm super stoked to take pictures.
Yeah, some of them is
It's gonna be
dope.
fun.
It's gonna be super dope because we
I'm
also
gonna
got
wear
like
headphones.
massive stuff there. Cause like
Oh, are you doing some installations and stuff?
always
Some pop-ups and
like
whatnot?
that's the whole point. Like we want to give
Oh, cool.
all the artists. Like when I say like we're giving the artists the outside experience, like we're gonna just we got the sponsors to help us with that budget. So it's like we're just gonna use it. So we want to like kind of curate this and create this one time a year in Pittsburgh. If you're down with one of the gangs, you know what I'm saying, Femi or Sadbeargvng, like. We got the resources, and if you've been putting in work, like we didn't, I'm not gonna say like we chose it by who puts in the most work, but like the people that we were most affiliated with on our journey this year, we definitely wanted to make sure that we gave them opportunities. So every year is a shout out to all the people we work with and all the people we want to work with. So yeah, we brought out some lasers. We're bringing out lights. We're bringing out some all kinds of stuff, man. Like we're still building stuff right now. Like I think we're at that point now. We're not even worried about the money. We're just like building stuff. Like me and her are just spending days in, just doing installations.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I think excite me the most about music in general is the physical process. And I learned that at Bonnaroo, my first camping music festival. I went with a great guy named Boots who had been to a few other festivals, including Bonnaroo before. And the reason that it was so fun is because we had such a great totem the whole time and we were working on it every day. So we would wake up in the morning, we'd get our coffee, get our breakfast with a big camp, and then we would start adding fabric to the totem.
Yeah.
We'd start like sewing and tying things off. And everything we found together, we would like put together. And then that would be what we looked up at when we danced that night.
Right.
We'd gather things throughout the day, add them to the totem, then the next day back again. And it was like we had this project, this artistic project, and also this aspiration, this goal that we were looking up to.
Yeah, like what you guys just did is literally what we want to do in a sense of like we want to bring our community and in a sense of like celebrate with the community. It's not about like cash grab, right? Like if I want to do cash grab, but then I would just move us out of the city. But it'd just be that much easier.
You said you were doing that.
Yeah, it would just be that much easier. No one said that, but I'm just saying in general, if it was about money in general, like the music was about money, it would be like we would just go to another city. But
yeah, for sure.
I would say like
Vegas Femi. I mean,
Vegas. I don't even know what Vegas Femi looks like yet, but we actually have that resource is open for us. But I would say what we would pride ourselves on being known for is something that is out there that's being done at our level and appreciated, and the dreaming of it getting to bigger and bigger, just knowing that this is what we're doing. Like we take our DJ money and we'll buy our own lasers, we buy our own lights. Like we're probably one of the bigger mobile DJ acts that you'll see in a sense of we go to our shows 2 hours early to make sure everything's set up properly. So like Upbeat, we just decided to move the stage, and we were like, "Yo, we're gonna try to do this. And we're gonna bring Fog Machine. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna make them do this." We think of those things. It's a lot of the DJs only think about the music.
Well, that was the first thing I noticed about Femi, and the reason that I fuck with you guys, and the reason that you're here is that it was more than just music. When I got to mixtape, it was
you. That's the
clear
biggest compliment
that
you
there
can give
was
us.
something else going on. That there was an intelligence behind it. That somebody had thought about curating it. That there was I hate the word vibe. There was an atmosphere, an element, something more than just tunes, and that there was a curation that had happened. There was gifts, giveaways on the table. There was a special light on the DJ that had like a special color. It was the pink tape, so everything was pink and like it was all coordinated. There was an idea, like there was something, there was a spirit, there's
an essence, there's a purpose, right? There's an intent. Like, I guess that would be the best one because I guess that would be the word that we would use when doing it. If there's a better one, we'll take that. But, yeah, like, I feel like a lot of the parties going on currently right now in this city are, and I don't, when I say cash grab, I don't mean that people are out here just trying to get people's money. But in the sense of, if I didn't know what was going on in the Web3 world, we call this a cash grab where there's no authenticity. Mm-hmm. The only goal is the money, and the money triggers on whether there's a next event or not. If you're authentically doing it, I'm worried about this event. I'm not selling you on number 2. I'm not selling you on number 3. It's this event. This is what it is. And that's how all of our events are. So like even Upbeat, we're on number 7 technically, and it doesn't even feel like we're at number 7.
Where is this one happening?
Brillo. Like,
oh, cool.
So this will be day 1, actually. Upbeat 7 technically is day 1 of Summalama. We didn't want to compete with ourselves.
Cool.
So, yeah, like it all comes down like certain things like that. Like when we think and do our shows and there is intention, like why would I throw an Upbeat 7?
Yeah.
Promote, and then say, come to our biggest party tomorrow. It's like, no. It's like if I have control over both of these places, is that extra effort when it comes to your resources, and how do you make those resources shine the best? So it's like, all right, we have this really dope place, and we have this really dope place. We have a really dope situation, actually. And it was like just putting the effort in that, and then that allowed us to get 14 DJs versus 7.
Right.
And to that point where it's like I got my DC DJs on day 1, but they're staying till day 2 because they want to meet everybody from Detroit, and it just creates this camaraderie.
Yeah. How do you house all these people?
I mean, they grown-ups. I feel also
You
too.
gotta get like a special deal with the Holiday Inn or something.
Thunderbird does have a special deal at Trip Hotels that's
Nice.
on the 40th Street. But I also too, when we do a lot of the events that we do them they're pretty well thought out in the sense of that. Like in the sense of I put myself in their shoes and say, hey, look, I ain't got time to be just coming up for a month's notice. It's like, yeah, it's only a 20 if you do both days. It's a $40 ticket, general admission.
Nice.
But
Nice. That's super
But-
worth it.
it is worth it when you consider I bought the weekend. Like I got every DJ that does a thing. The only competition we have is Ed Sheeran.
Oh, is that why you guys keep posting him?
Yeah.
That's actually really funny. I was trying to figure out why his face was on the
There you go.
slide. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is Ed talking about hotels for right now?
Nah, my mom was literally
That's
trying to get a
hilarious.
hotel last month, and she was just talking about how difficult it are because she was just here for my birthday, and she got it easy, and then all of a sudden,
What a
the
funny
next
looking
month,
dude.
Ed taking over.
He really looks like a gnome.
Yeah, he
like
looks
exactly
like the
like
most
a
peaceful
gnome.
thing, but he's about to cause havoc.
He looks like a hobbit. Didn't they have him on one of those Hobbit shows?
I don't know.
Yeah, they did.
Maybe
he
as
was
a joke.
in no. He was really in Game of Thrones. They threw him in on the last season or something.
Yo, Ed,
I swear.
if you got time after your show, because I know you're watching, like pull up to some of my acts at 1. Just pull up. I got a
that'd
ticket
be
for
sick.
you. No, honestly, I'm
although
gonna try.
I was talking about this just with my family the other week when I was in Detroit about how when we went to the Hip Hop Olympics at the Fox Theater in Detroit when I was a kid, Common was performing.
I like coming.
Yeah, he's
He's so
unbelievable. But Eminem was off on the side of the stage signing autographs,
dope. Right.
and everybody moved away from Common, so there was no crowd.
That's crazy.
It was
But
just
it
like
happens.
such a diss.
It happens, but like there is no diss in art, right? Like you got to
I
realize.
thought this was a whole diss episode.
No, I. All right, look. Let me explain myself, and I'll explain myself very thoroughly because I'm fully aware of the stuff that I do. I am a huge hater, only because like hating has like led me to all my success. My skepticism
Yeah.
has allowed people to prove it to me. If they care, right, they'll do it. So if they don't care, I will never know. And if I care enough, then I'll have to suck it up and have to figure it out. So like in sports, I'll hate and it'll force this person to be competitive. But also too, what people think is like, oh, he's talking trash. He's got to live up to that. What if I did that on purpose? What if I do know I can whoop your ass?
Who do you know that talks more shit than Michael Jordan? Who's the greatest shit talker of all time? Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Larry Bird.
Wade Anthony.
The 3 greatest basketball
Wade
players
Anthony.
of all time.
They're great basketball players, but you ask for who's the best shit talker.
Somebody's going to say LeBron, but I thought it was those 3.
No.
And-
I would say Kobe out of those 3, but
Whoa.
Me.
Oh, as shit talkers. But
Yeah.
but like I'm the same way. But what I would say is I'm the biggest hater, but I'm also the biggest hater on myself. So nobody is more critical of me than me.
I would say I'm past that now in a sense of like I can't make any more mistakes. In a sense of like I can make mistakes, but like I'm in a place now where I'm controlling every part of it in a sense of I'll go into a situation knowing that I may fuck up. And I'm cool with all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I chose this realm. I know if I'm going to be in the middle. I know if I'm going to be top tier. But the ones that really affect me is when I'm like, no, this is like, boom. I know I got that. I know that for sure. So like for me, I'm never like, I'm always cool. I'm always even keel because I'm always down to learn. I'm always down for an experience, and I'm always down to whoop ass. So it depends on what the room is. But talking shit has always been the best because, like, even when it came time for Femi to meet my mom, I said, yo, you haven't met my mom until, like, she starts cussing. Like, all that nice shit, that doctor shit she talks, like, that's so 9 to 5 to me, you know what I mean? Like, I want you to really, like, I love you enough where I want you to meet my real mom. And I would just, do a little get my mom riled up, and she would do it. She'd be like, "Motherfucker," and I'm like, there she is. So yeah, it's like I like authentic people because being not from Pittsburgh, authenticity has saved my life in the sense of things can get loud and cool, but if that person is a loud person, then I just don't worry about certain things than other people. I just take that extra time, and it's just allowing me to just be me and just let people be them, and I just move as I do. But it's also about coming outside with intention. So when I come outside, I know what I'm looking for, and I know where I need to be and who's in charge of that. So, when I hate, I'm hating because those people are also super like, they're hating themselves just like as much. You just said it yourself. You hate yourself more. So
nobody's more critical.
Exactly. So me hating and saying like, "What the fuck was that?" You're like, "Yeah, that did sound weird." So you're already aware of it.
Right.
It's conscious.
I think it's
conscious hate.
Yeah. It's obviously it's a balance. You can get into trouble with too much self-deprecation, but I am Jewish, and that's where all our humor comes from, right? That's like why comedy, like Jewish comedy, that's what it is. It's self-deprecating humor,
Jerry
making
Seinfeld.
fun. That's what it is, right? The whole show. No, the whole Seinfeld show is about self-deprecation.
I feel that.
And that's also the same thing as introspection. So one of the best jobs I ever had, you were talking about the lodging situation. I used to work for the guy who ran Zero Party. Okay. I forget what his name is, but I could look it up in my phone, but it doesn't matter. It was a rave in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And my job, because I drove for a living, because I always worked like my whole life. And when I was in New York City, I had a car. And not everybody did, so I just started driving.
Yeah.
Before Uber and Lyft, I was driving, and one of the jobs...
Which is called a jitney now.
Well, it was a little more legit. I was doing it through TaskRabbit, and so he had put something up on this website called TaskRabbit where he needed help for one of his raves. And what I found out was it was just picking up these DJs from the airport in Newark or JFK, and then driving them to his flat in Brooklyn that he had, which was empty, where he would have the DJ stay. And what I flipped it into was taking pictures for their parties, which were these 5,000 person raves.
That's cool as hell.
These massive like Brooklyn warehouses. And giving all my records, my friends' records, to the DJs. So I would have like physical copies of Alex Burkhart's latest releases on 100% Silk or whatever. And then I would be picking up Job Jobsy from Denmark, or Majid Cocoon from Israel and Berlin, all these like huge techno artists, on a small, and I'm handing them the record in the back seat, like, oh, like this is my buddy, you might want to play that.
That's cool.
And then I still have all those contacts, like they're all still people that I talk to, friends, like connect, but it's all in the techno world, which is interesting. For me, it's always been this border zone between techno and hip hop. And it's never been one or the other. I've always...
But that's because that's where you're at. So, like, they just come to you. Like, I think that's pretty dope in a sense because, like, you won't hear me talking too much about the fashion side of things in my store because, like, right now I'm doing this. But that also has led me to, like, before I did DJing and my store, I wanted to be a part of the culture in general, music, art, all that. I was a photographer, and my first client was Currency, Jim Jones, and Joel Santana. So it was like in the making. You never know you're doing legend shit until like you stay in it. So like for me, I would say like everyone's journey is just super dope. I respect everyone's journey, but I also think shit talking has always been a part of the journey. I feel like no's are just part of the journey in a sense of why is my hate different than anyone else's just because we're both here, right? It's like, nah, like, I'm hating on you only because, like, I respect you. And I think, like, you have the same eclectic hearing as me, and we should just level up.
Do you remember Currency's shoes?
No, I don't.
He did a pair of, like, stoner shoes that were all green. That were, like, shaggy. I had them.
So, with
I had them and sold them.
Like the shell toe ones, like the hemp ones?
They're Reeboks. Like, I only do Reebok.
Yeah.
I only wear Reebok in general. And yeah, they were.
You're very rare, by the way.
Well, I did it intentionally to be an ass, like to be different.
I would hate you at my store because I'd be like, dude, come on.
I know it's obnoxious, but I
only
also
Shacknosis, and because you're a Reebok guy, I know you know what that is.
Yeah, but they're mad uncomfortable.
They are. They're super.
They're
super
as bad
90,
as the Answer.
Super 96, and the Answers, I wore them in middle school.
So you remember? I have a pair downstairs.
Dude, I
crazy.
I literally wear the what would Jesus do thing because my bands would pop when Iverson would wear those What Would Jesus bands back in the day, and the Thinger. Remember he had the Thinger bracelet, whatever that thing was on his finger.
No,
Allen Iverson used to.
No.
If you look
practice,
at
practice.
yeah, Allen Iverson.
Me?
If you look at Allen Iverson's fingers, he always had a number 3 sleeve on his finger.
I didn't know that.
And I used to wear all that corny shit, dude. Before the sleeves and all that stuff. Yeah.
You ready?
For what? We're doing
the rum now. It's a taste test. This one's cool because it's an 8-year from Haiti. I'm just gonna do a short pour.
Lit.
It's like a oak cask from Haiti.
Word.
And I just love sugarcane. I think sugarcane is one of the most interesting things in the whole world.
It is. It's definitely missing right now, especially from our age. Because of Coca-Cola.
Oh yeah, no. Well, that's why I drink the glass Cokes.
You're the man.
Yeah, I had one today.
You
at
like
Chipotle.
taste? Really?
Cheers.
After talking shit on its messiness, make sure those weren't.
Yeah, it was. That's that same story. I've told 2 Chipotle stories.
This is really good.
This one's insane, right?
This one's good. What is that called?
Barban Court.
All right, word.
Rum, RHUM. Right. 8 years. It's still got like a little bit of that funk, but it's not one of those super funky rums that I'm just like, nah, I can't get down.
No, it's like
you can't mix
it's
them.
like a daytime rum. It's like I could definitely drink this daytime and talk all day with this.
They had this amazing rum bar in Charleston called Cane Rum Bar. It was my favorite bar in Charleston. It was one of the only places I could go where it was actually diverse crowd, like black folk hanging out, listening to their music and like good music all day long. Closed it down.
It happens often.
Yeah, but it was really frustrating. The food was good too. They had Caribbean food, like they had like jerk chicken and.
That's why we have to like
wings,
fight for things we like in the sense of like not in the sense of like come up with a spot that has those things and then it makes money, but like spots that like really were just authentically good music, the food. If it's that spot is good, then we have to make sure that spot is available because like the remake of those things is not the same. You know what I mean?
You have to support the people that you fuck with. That's why I'm always trying to hang out at Goldmark and I need to go to Cobra more too. I like that. I love that.
And Samalama. And like Samalama.
100%.
And like Samalama.
And Black Tech.
And Black Tech, yeah. But like Samalama. And then like Upbeat, yeah. And then it's still Samalama. Then it's Afro House, yeah. But then it's still Samalama.
What's the Afro House?
Afro House is really dope because like that's actually more of a me and Femi baby in a sense of she's an Afrobeat queen, and I'm a house god in a sense of like.
Oh, interesting.
I like house because it's super technical.
Do you mess with Strobe?
Yeah.
Did you ever get the pack of vinyl rips that he posted like 3-4 years ago?
You mean Strobe as an artist?
DJ Strobe, yeah.
No.
DJ Strobe. He's like if you talk house in Pittsburgh, there's really no like I can't think of anybody else to mention. Like. that is anywhere near that level. So he lives in Canada now, but he was holding it down here for a decade, 20 years.
But that's the thing though, like with like the thing is with me, like house being that I travel so much, like I got Baltimore, like even though like DC and Baltimore don't get along well, Baltimore has its own vibe. And then, like, I've been in Chicago. I've been in, like, New Jersey and all these places. So,
nice. Do you like that, like, Jersey club sound? Like the Baltimore club, Jersey club?
All right, so let me break down music for you
like
in my perspective. Like,
footwork type
no
shit?
one gets to own shit in the sense of I come from D.C. and that doesn't mean...
you own Go-Go.
We got Go-Go, but Go-Go's a little different, and we don't really own that all the way. I'm from D.C.
It's
where
kind of like New Jack Swing.
It's a melting pot. There's too many cultures to own anything. I feel like we get so caught up in trying to own a sound where it's like, well, you heard it from somewhere else. You just happen to live over here. And that's the thing. I feel like I just come from a place where certain instruments just tweak my interest. And
did you play any?
None. I mean,
I played sports.
I played alto saxophone.
Ooh.
I did a little bit. My brother played trumpet. My dad liked bass.
The thing that blew me away about Selecta's party was it was just DJs that sold it out. So
yeah,
they sold out the Thunderbird with no instruments.
Yeah,
it was 4 turntables on stage, no drums, no guitar, no bass. Sold the fuck out. That's a statement for DJ culture right there.
But I mean, no diss to him, but I also got 2 days. I needed 2 days. Everybody said yes. They would work this. It will say no. It's not. No. No. It's not. No, we're comparing it to a sold out crowd in Thunderbird. That's
what we're talking.
But I would say for anything in Pittsburgh, like nothing like this is done in Pittsburgh in the sense of youth coming together.
Yeah. No, it's a totally different thing.
Old guys can come together all the time and do that. And he's old in perspective. Like, so just we're respecting in the sense of
he told me
younger.
My audience is 35 to 45-year-old black women.
Maybe. Yeah, it could be it. If he knows that, I don't know.
Or maybe he said 35 to 55.
I don't know. My crowd is.
He said my fan is your auntie. That's what he told me.
Mine's is 21. Mine's is all women and men between 21 to 65. And it's just only because I have the sneaker culture, because she has her culture outside of that culture. Like, we have so many different cultures, so I don't compare them. I understand that part. But when it comes to like a sold out crowd, like, it's very easy for me to tell Pittsburgh it is something they don't have. In the sense of there's so much talent. There's 14 DJs. That place I had 4. You know what I'm saying? And so if we're doing numbers, it's 14. I got Ari Cole. He's dope.
Yeah. I saw him with Bamboo at Creative's Drink upstairs on a rooftop in Lawrenceville.
Yeah. Oh, you missed us then. You just missed us because we were there for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I probably saw you. I just didn't know you back then.
No, it was definitely like a couple weeks ago or like?
No, this was like when I first moved here last summer.
No, you definitely didn't know me. But I would just say, like, as far as like a sold out crowd, like what's going to make this thing like super, super dope is that the energy from the young crowd that's emerging and that's trying to do it and that's trying to push the envelope, and they're showing like all the skills that they've learned over time, and I think they have a lot to show. I think a lot of what's going on in Pittsburgh that's selling out right now is culture. It's what it's supposed to do, right? Like, they're doing a really good job with what they have, but I feel like there's a lot going on outside that's not being shown here, and I think that's what's going to be brought. So, I mean, yeah, Summer Lumber is going to be something to be reckoned with, and you're going to see a lot of stuff that you haven't, and I think it's going to be something that people wish they had more of, and we'll do it, but right now we still are who we are. So once a year right now is all you got. We got a magazine, got merch, we got photographers, we got videographers, we got a commercial coming out soon. We just shot last week. We got
ooh, that's dope. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and between all the 14 DJs, you got over 100,000 followers. So I really don't want to hear any comparison to anything else because nobody in Pittsburgh has 100,000 followers that is living in Pittsburgh.
That's true. That's wild though. Isn't that crazy? Like,
yeah, but it also makes but it makes sense
because Wiz is gone and
no,
and
it's
Mac's
not that.
dead.
And just to like sum it up because I don't want to go too long, but my friend Josh Snyder said this: there are places like you just said about certain like arenas and stuff that have certain hubs and cultures where like if you do music, like he said, all right, for instance, Johnny Depp just opened up a restaurant in California. It does a certain thing, but Johnny Depp also chose the best spot to do that. So when it comes to giving the best, if I love music, I need to go to wherever my specific genre is. I like go-go, so if I was to do something, it would be given naturally to Washington, D.C. because it wouldn't make sense in Pittsburgh.
Do you know the song "Da Butt"? Doing the butt.
Oh yeah, EU. First of all, EU.
Sexy.
He's a family friend of mine. EU.
Ain't nothing wrong.
That's
if
my
you want
boy.
to do the butt all night long.
Sugar Bear EU. He is a family friend. Shout out to Sugar Bear. That's my dad's best friend. And I've actually met him several times over. Well, I actually met him through sports. I've known him since I was 8. Look, I'm gonna give you some homework. Go. Listen to Huckabuck.
Okay.
Sardines.
Dope.
It's just a really old school song. It's like that's actually like early 90s, probably late 80s is of go-go.
Okay.
And we call that a pocket where like you can just play that style of song and it just like is the vibe. It's like the perfect
It's like the brown
vibe.
beat. It's like the brown beat for bounce.
Yes.
Right?
So that one, and then I think I texted you, look up Chuck Brown. Chuck Brown and his family, they're very close to my family as well. He's the godfather of go-go. Chuck Brown, my favorite song is My Valentine. That's my dad's favorite song. And they all just have meaning. And it's really dope when you think about today's world, just getting the black culture together and having that many people in a band. When you think about how many people are in their bands, it's usually about 13 different instruments, all 80% percussion.
It's
working
crazy.
together. It's just really, really dope. But Chuck Brown is really dope. Wally, shout outs to Wally Brown. Hopefully we can get you coming up here in Pittsburgh 2024.
Yeah.
But we're going to try to get the Chuck Brown band up here too.
It kind of reminds me of New Orleans, right? Like that
It's super
big
New
band
Orleans
type deal.
It's super New Orleans because like they'll get on the back of a pickup truck and ride down the street and the whole crowd, and that's how we do like our little parades. But
Wait, there's parades in DC too?
randomly, if there's we have Mochella, it's called like we call, instead of saying like you guys say yins, we say what up Mo, what up Joe, and we have Mochella. So Mochella is basically a bunch of go-go music where we go to Georgia Avenue. There's a million black folks, all the go-go lovers. They're just there in the middle of the street and they just take it over. It's unofficial. There's no permits, no nothing. We just do it. There's never violence.
I think the Detroit is probably a takeoff on the DC. What up,
It's
Doe?
definitely.
What up, Doe?
There's definitely.
We probably heard what up, Mo, and what up, Joe, and we
What
said,
up,
what
Mo?
up, Doe?
And we say Mo, Joe, and Youngin.
What up,
That's it.
Doe?
But also too, have you ever heard of Jonin or joint? Like, yo, that joint looks hard.
Yeah,
We say
we
joint.
used to say John.
Yeah,
That John
that's
was
Philly.
hard. So
That's where John comes from. Joint.
yeah,
All blah. Yeah, it's like that.
It's interesting how culture.
It trickles. We have where we get our stuff from too, but like I would say 50% of what I've heard out here is coming from DC. So yeah, yins is y'all to me. All that stuff. Like we all speak different. So like that's another reason why we got to like figure it out on a general level. We all have the same shit. We just say it different.
We spoke for a long time. This was really
No,
special,
we did.
man.
A lot
I'm
of
so
this was
grateful.
inebriated.
Wade Anthony, I'm so grateful for your time.
No, thank you.
You really have something incredibly cool going on.
Thanks,
and I'm
man.
so grateful that you're able to share it with us. And
Look,
make
check this out.